Welcome to the media. We get phone back.
So let me say good afternoon to the people of district number 10 for supporters. I want to appreciate the people of district number 10 again for affording me the time to make their presence felt in the capital. Our job is to talk for our people. Our job is to ensure that the laws that we're making be respected, be enforced by the executive. Our job is not to be building roads. Our job is to perform our oversight. But we cannot, because we are conflicted. We have decided to facilitate the executive to carry on the criminal acts. Today in session, our normal proceeding, a session is called to order when the call for unreadiness, it is the lawmaker right to state and to say unready, and to state your unreadiness to the motionist. And who were the motionists today? The motionist was Honorable Abbas June. And my motion was very clear that I wanted to raise. You know, yesterday, before yesterday when I was in Ghana, I got on school and said, on the 27th, the Supreme Court will be hearing our bill of information. The Supreme Court will tell the people of this country who favor the rule. And yesterday, it was a precedent again yesterday by the Supreme Court of this country. It happened during the early snow time, during Manasari time, when the Supreme Court ruled for early snow. And the executive decided that they would deal with the juntas. When the executive went to deal with the junta, the Supreme Court full bench did not appear. Yesterday was a clear indication that the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the COFAS block. And our laws need to be respected by us that make the law. We cannot be lawmakers, we'll be juntas. Under junta, like I said in session today, that those people are behaving like juntas, and I want to restate what I said in session. Yes, they are behaving like juntas. Because under junta, for example, right in my district, the court rule that somebody won a case to claim all the property. The commoners were deprived of the houses, of the property, because the court ruled. While the common people will respect the laws, and we as lawmakers cannot respect the law. Let me restate and let me reaffirm to my supporters. Yapa will be in session on Thursday. Oh yeah, I will be in session. And I'm going to state my own. It is because the Constitution provides that everything you say in there, you cover by the Constitution. That one lawmaker stood in that place and threatened to impeach judges. And the judges are respecting the Constitution. I want to challenge anybody that think they can suspend me. I dare them, or they can suspend me. I dare them to start the process. We will state our unreadiness in session. And I want to say this. As long as we cannot respect the laws of this country, if I'm attacked by anybody in there, when we come outside, the attack will start. Oh yeah. What are the doormen? What are lawmakers? Like Polade day today, like Anthony Wodon day today. That one that you follow them when somebody goes speak as I want to by you. You happy on your 1-4? Like the day today, why will you be attacking me? When the motioners were telling me, say, you let the man raise the motion, a level be to accept or deny. That's the process. But they came to grab the bag, they started to fight me, and they started to shock people. That's a procedure. Am I going to be detailed? No, I am not, and I will not. We will state the issues. We will ensure we were making the laws as lawmaker. The Supreme Court has spoken. We need to respect the verdict of the Supreme Court. You went to a session yesterday in the President Joseph Walker came to address us to present what he will do or what he has done. In the first place, Joseph Walker should remain stealing after he addressed and leave, not to sit down. The law was broken yesterday. You know, Joseph Walker was lucky. People talk to me. Respectable people of this country talk to me not to go there. Well, I'm going to go there. Now you're battle, I was already down to 25%. I'm going to reduce it to 0%. Because I was going to state my already session. Look, the process has just started. Jim Kola, you waste your time. Oh, you want for me? Test me again next time. Then you will know. Hey, I want to respect the law. Our rules don't want to take respect. Don't want to take respect our rules. Our rules are very, very clear. Our rules say the only time you can put a lawmaker outside, you can ask the sign your hand to escort him. You know, we're doing the same thing for my president. We are done. I'm going to keep by myself. What have changed? The rule says when a lawmaker is under the influence of alcohol, now when you ask the sign your hand to escort him, they don't say for the man. Anybody for me outside will come, inside will come outside will attack you. It can be who, it can be what. The process will start. They will know who can hire in the country. They will know who will be free to move in the country. Anybody attack me in there and don't go by our rules. When you break our rules in there, when we come outside, I will break the laws outside. Yes. Because I know you can juntas, you will not respect the law. If you are going to the court, you will not respect the court. Oh yeah, when you attack me, I will attack you. Oh yeah, we need to respect the laws and respect our rules. Why is you allow me to raise my unreadiness? Are you the presiding? Are you the? I don't want to recognize Rachel Kuhn as a speaker. I recognize the deputy speaker. The deputy speaker, the person I'm supposed to recognize it was elected by law. And I will always recognize it. If I were not in this minority group, I was going to be with Tomalin. Because people say they don't understand me. My thing is, I believe in the law. The laws of the country recognize Tomalin, and I will recognize it. I talked about there's a movement. Honorable Deputy Speaker, I'll be ready to vote. Oh, all of them, you know, those gangsters that I told them today in session, they are gangsters, they are juntas. Oh, you gotta go outside. Are you the motionless to tell me to go outside? Is that what our rule says? Let me say to my supporters, we will be in session again on Thursday. As long as the current session in anybody's room, I will go there. The law provides that I go to session. I want to see who will deprive me from going to session. Then the constitution provision that you break it to prevent me from going to go do my job. Then you will tell the law. We need to respect the laws of the country. The Supreme Court ruling is very clear as of yesterday, but now Joseph Walker almost died yesterday. He said, just drink some more. Drink some more. Just drink some more. Drink some more. Just go shake the phone. He said, you reckless. Now because you broken the people, what happened to you yesterday? And you know the people don't understand from where I speak. I can see things from where they are. I'll tell you what will happen tomorrow. Yesterday before the court, go back to my recording yesterday. I told the pastor go there, Joseph Walker going to sing again. Joseph Walker going to sing again. I saw Jeremiah put large double theater and said, I'm going to be president. And no Joseph Walker do that. Somebody said Jeremiah put your Ghana region. Look, we need to be serious to the country. Joseph Walker, you left here yesterday, you joined in plea. You go for treatment. For you to tell the person you go for treatment, why we can't put all that money in GFA? That's the reason why we must say sick too. I can get it clean and go for treatment. Because Joseph Wakala don't touch JFK. I do not touch JFK. Oh yeah, doing former president William. In order to pass it, I took my pass in Dubai. The Lebronco know me good. Anything I will do, I will say it. Joseph Wakala, I want to call on you again. You say I am the most corrupt lawmaker. You say above 400,000 naira. You say I kill somebody if on the American embassy. You get the presidency. You can't put the cool, you can present evidence. You have to report when it is. Oh, but now, every day you go there. And I don't pursue the case. Don't extend the case. The people you say you're there. You're not going to evidence prosecuted for. Joseph Boga. The reason why Joseph Boga didn't bring up because he wanted to be sent out after. Joseph Boga got nothing to offer the people. That was our.
Hey, good afternoon. Ansu, you can hear me? Ansu, you hear me? Ansu, are you hearing me?
Check it. Yeah, you are on. You clear. You are loud.
Oh, okay. Yes, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to the closing argument. Today is January 28th, 2025. This year is almost gone. We are back again on the closing argument tonight. And hope everyone is doing, everyone, whoever you are doing well. You are staying warm if you're in the U.S. and we are in winter. But today was today the weather was good though. Good weather today we had today, very good weather. I went outside a little bit and the weather is good. I want to welcome everyone to the closing argument. Let me welcome some of our viewers. Juje Onwe, Christian Roberts, Say Gonganu. Esther Clark Fredericks. Yeah, one of my strong critics there. Son of Coke, Vasco. Thank God, Vasco Famula, Vasco A Famula. Okay. I see Sarah Dopo. Oh, missing Sarah, man. Sarah should be here now to kind of get her analysis about this sooner. Well, I'd love to hear her. Elijah K. Colley from Kakata Magibi. Elijah Makam, like, bro, will definitely meet her in Kakata. Definitely. I will come Kakata just to see you. My mom have a home there, so I will come there. Okay, we have Afro Viking Egon Langford, Peter White, Patient Siama. Oh, yes. But guys, look, welcome. Good to be on the closing argument. I just spoke to Yeke a few minutes ago. He told me he said I should call him earlier, so he should come, but he said I was tempted to already call him, so I said, no problem. It's your platform. You can come here anytime you want to come here. But I just spoke to him a few minutes ago, and he told me that in fact, I started to joke. I said, my man, they throw you outside jail. They throwing prisoner outside. He said, yeah, no problem. He said, but he going back tomorrow, he'll cause trouble again. He said also, yeah, I said, my man, you let it put hay for nothing, oh. For nothing. He said, yeah, the high is supposed to be. I said, well. But he said if they touch him, you touch them outside. So I know him, man. So we'll see what happens. But I was disappointed today in the caucus that he part of. I think once they threw him outside, they all should have left. Should I say if they threw him outside, they all will leave. Especially the way they took him outside. I mean, if they had escorted him and said, well, leave the session as per the rule, no problem. But the way how they physically touch him, put their hands on him, I thought they would have all said, look, you can't put your hands on the lawmaker. He didn't attack anyone. He was exercising his right on our own rules to state his own readiness. And he made a valid point for the fact that the Supreme Court, they get an opinion and said that the ending process that brought brought Richard Kun to power, calling himself speaker, is illegal. And they proved it yesterday by not even showing about boycotting the State of the Nation address. First time in the history of our country that happened. That shows that when Yeke said that the legitimate speaker was not present, the deputy speaker should preside. And he recognized Thomas Fala. And he's right. He had a point. He had a valid point. That Fala should be the one he should recognize. That's why he was standing his ground. But then to put their hands on him and physically take him out, I thought it was unfair. And I just thought that his colleagues should have backed him up especially those who from the caucus he part of were present, they should say, you know, if you are prevented from putting hands on him, don't want to put hands on a lawmaker, especially when the lawmaker is in session at that rate. But Richard Kuhn is not doing himself good. For the first time in history, he's the first speaker that doing what he's doing to his colleague, ordering the security to put hands on a lawmaker. That's not fair, you know. And even former Speaker Beaufort Chambers was there. Yeke used to go after him the same way. Another day he told people, "You're drag Yeke, you're putting him on Yeke." No, what Richard Kuhn did yesterday was very, very unacceptable. I mean, today it was not right, and he's treading dangerous ground, because at the end of the day, he'll pay the price for that what he's doing, because it will come back to bite him. These are all things that have been recorded in history, and we have in the age of technology now where things go fast, and all of that is all over the place now. That he gave, because a lawmaker in America or in other countries will say, well, if the speaker have that much power to order security to put hands on our colleague, and then I mean that person have overstepped their bounds, because there are times even in the great America, people shouting match at each other, they scream at each other here, they want to even go at it, but they never hear the speaker say, "Oh, put him outside, put her outside." No, or use force on them. No, what happened today was just inappropriate, completely inappropriate. Okay, very inappropriate. Afro, I don't see nothing. Afro, I don't see nothing in my inbox. Yeah, but was inappropriate. And Richard Kuhn is real. That's not Frederick. I agree. It's getting to his head. They are all, and what he don't understand is that all members of the legislature, the House, they are all equals. The only thing is the difference between anyone who is presiding is they are first among equal. That's all. But they're all elected. They are all equal. The only thing they'll tell you when you are presiding, you are considered first among equals. That's all. That's the only difference. He's not your boss. You're not your boss. Your boss is the people of District 10. You know, he's not your boss to come and say, yeah, and treat him the way he was treated.
Exactly so.
And it's wrong. And if we're not careful, somebody will react. The Yeke is making. I just told you on the phone. Yeke said, he said they would try to go outside. He will respond to them outside. So why if Yeke go get his own men and say, well, you guys stand. I'm sure now tomorrow on Thursday he going to the place. Yeke will go reinforce. He won't go alone. He'll go with reinforcement now. He'll be outside there. And if you put hands on him, he won't respond. I mean, look, I do not support anyone insulting the president and so forth. I'm not in for that. But when it comes to the legal part, let's honor it. There's no law in our country that says nobody you can't insult the president. It only it left with your own morality. That's all. But there's no law that says, oh, you can't insult the just somebody can curse me, can curse you, can curse the president, and curse somebody too. But it left with the person who's doing it, that's all. So by you doing it, it's up to you, you know. I would not do it, but somebody choose to do it, it's up to them. But you have no right to order security men to put hands on a fellow lawmaker. That was wrong. It should be condemned. The rule of law caucus that Yeke is part of should come up with a strong statement on that. Because what's happening to Yeke today, you'll give Kuhn the feel that he can do it tomorrow to another person. He's not even a speaker, and he's doing that already. It's dangerous. It's very dangerous, and I hope he take note of it and act accordingly. But that was wrong, and we should not accept it. We should not tolerate it. Okay, it's just not fair, and it should not be. But let me call my reporter. I hope he's ready to give us some more details of what happened. But I want to say congratulations to our closing argument. Today we are officially accredited by the Senate and the House of Representatives. We have our reporter now fully accredited now. He'll be allowed to cover everything, activities there, all the session, recognized as a closing argument reporter, correspondent. I want to say congratulations for that. It hasn't been an easy thing, especially when they label your platform as an opposition platform, which is not. When they say your platform is opposition platform, your platform is anti-government. But I tell you, but your platform that supported that brought you the power, Spoon where can be bringing people that hate you all day. You don't see that one. You're seeing because the people come and express their view. No, but we're happy that we got we are accredited now to the House of Representatives and the Senate, and executive mansion in a few days will be accredited to. As far as I was told today, we have accreditation at the executive mansion now. We have a reporter covering wherever President Boga is. The person will be assigned there, going with President Boga up and down too, and hopefully, if they feel good, they'll say, well, travel with the president when he go on a trip. Because look, let me tell you something. Back in the days, when Tito was president, whenever you were assigned to the executive mansion, when that president traveling anywhere out of the country, they will always let that reporter travel with the president. But nowadays, the people don't do it. I don't know why. Even in America, even the way the people can criticize Trump, criticize Biden, when Biden and president traveling, that executive mansion or White House crew travel along with them. Okay, that's how it should be, because the president is a watchdog of the society. You cannot stop them from reporting what they need to report. So when you start to restrict them and saying they can't be biased, they can't be one-sided. They'll say, well, we only talk all the good things happening with the government. No, their job is to see and report to the people. So I'm happy that the House and the Senate have finally granted us, and the Ministry of Information too have granted us access now, accreditation to cover them. At least when our guy go there now, he allowed to enter free with all, no hazard and so forth. That's what we're happy for that. And we're still looking for more volunteers to be covering, to do some reporting for us. At least we're praying, hustling, hope that we get the motorbikes issue settled. We can give the guys motorbikes and tags and be doing for us. It's not an easy thing to have people on the field there traveling and so forth. And hopefully we'll be sending some people to Nimba to give a snapshot of what's happening in Nimba, coming to the elections of the vacancy for Senator Prince Johnson. So we're looking forward to sending somebody to Nimba soon to check out, to give somebody snapshot of what's happening in Nimba. So that's the situation. Oh, where am our guys then? They gone? At least you go. I know. Miss you. I know. Yeah, hold on. We're not at least from all whatever. Hey, that girl. Hey. LDC just went. LDC power gone. That's why we off the radio in Liberia now, because of LDC. You see? Now, if we have money, we'll be back on the radio, but we'll put fuel, get fuel, but no money, so we can't get fuel. We have money to get fuel. We'll put fuel in a generator to get it back on the radio until LDC can come back. But that's one of the struggle we go through, people. Right now we're only on the internet and YouTube. So that's how things are. So now I can't even I'm about to get a guy to take some calls, but now it just good Sarah coming. That's good. The good you coming. That's good, Sarah. Happy to see you, man.
Happy to see you, Tomalin.
Good to see you.
How you doing?
Okay, they say we're back on. They say LC. Hey, it's right, bro. It's right. You get a good lawyer. Come back. LC back on now. You see?
Oh, they went off?
It went off. Yeah,
Wow.
Then you enter the post, it says it is back on. Okay.
That's good. That's good. I'm bringing some positive energy to the show.
Yeah, everything looking good too. Everything looks so shiny.
Thank you.
Good. Yeah, but that's the situation. We have our accreditation to the ministry, to the House and the Senate now, And also, we are looking forward to the executive mansion granting us. It's not an easy environment to work in an environment where the ruling establishment feel that you are opposed to them. They feel that you're critical of them. Imagine Truth FM yesterday. They gave all the other stations, they gave their accreditation. They never allowed Truth FM there. And Truth FM, I'm telling you now, all the guys you see that got talk show now, they came from Truth FM.
Ah.
Oh yeah, they came from Truth FM. Truth FM was the mother. They came from Truth FM. And how when they got popular, they went out. Some of them today got their own programs and so forth.
It tells you the United Joseph Burger is talking about it's only on his lips. It's not from here.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. He's talking about uniting the country, but it's just on his lips.
Yeah, and already I see his in fact, yeah, I see his total message is being critiqued now.
Yeah.
People are they are now critiquing the message, and even his own folks are critiquing the message, and most of it they're trying to fact check it. So, Sarah, welcome, and
yeah,
give your intro, and then we can get it going.
Thank you so much for the show, Tomalin. I want to say hi to our audience following. Hi to our folks here in Liberia. We are here again, to discuss. This is one of the most peaceful way we can, propose, suggest, whatever you call it, for the right thing to be done in our country. So we will not relent, we will not shy away, we will continue to say what we have to say, we'll continue to propagate the right thing for our people, for our country, so that one of these days will be, people will sit there and say, yeah, Liberia, I can go to Liberia and be happy, I can go to Liberia and be satisfied. We'll continue to talk. We're not going to give up. So thank you for the show, Tomalin, and the rest of the folks that are coming on.
Thank you. Now, yesterday in the one of the things that just caught my eyes, somebody just sent me this about President Boyka saying in his speech, he said, my administration has increased the agricultural budget by over 200% compared to previous years. But when it came to do the fact check, that's not true.
Wow.
The approved budget for agriculture in his first year was $6.7 million.
Okay.
From January to November, he spent only $4.4 million. And a difference of 2.3.
What happened to that money?
President Weah budgeted $5.2 million, and he spent $4.5 million. But he said that he 200%, but in reality, it was actually 22% increase. So he went too far.
That's a huge increase.
200.
That's a huge, deception right there. It's not even close. 200%? Are you kidding me?
200 minus 20 what?
Oh 20, my God.
Yeah, 200 minus 22.5.
Oh my God.
177.5% he went above. So that was not true.
That level of lies.
Yeah, so that's not true.
What? Yeah.
Again,
where is Abu? Let Abu can defend the one.
The people that give the president this information, that was somebody said they didn't do him right because they gave information that were not facts. The data are not facts.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. They just got an old man over there. They feel they can just write any kind of thing and the Liberian people will fall for it. Deceive him. And
mind you now, there's a guy who supported him. Okay, he's saying that Martin Colley said, look, the price of 25 kg was reduced within the first 2 months of your leadership. Wow. So, but he said, Mr. President, we disagree with this claim. You came to power in 2024. In March, the price for rice 25 kg was increased to $3,700,
right?
21% increase comparatively. You see, so Martin is telling us, no, you know, brought rice price down. You say, but there's a fact there.
The people just gave this old man a bunch of lies for him to stay over there for hours to read, and he was about to faint from reading lies. If they had not given that old man some water to drink, they just had him reading a whole bunch of lies.
I mean, and it's not coming from us. of an opposition camp, coming from somebody who supported this government,
Right.
100%.
And you know, to tell you the truth, Tomalin, I gotta give it up to Martin Colley.
I tell people,
I gotta give it up to him.
He not like the politics, whatever the case, but this boy do research and he come up with a factual. And
I got to give it up to him. Seriously, seriously. And for me, I think he's in it from his heart, his heart for the Liberian people. It's not so much I support this person, I support that person, but he's in it from his heart. And this is why he goes to the length and breadth of everything he does to come up with these things. You know, I rather give it up to him. Seriously.
I mean, he's critiquing the social national address, and he's making the government to look like a complete mockery, because it's like everything the president said, he's countering it with facts. So it's not to say, people make it up. The numbers don't lie, and that's what's happening.
Nope.
Came up with facts on him and trying to debunk
and
everything.
Actually, Tomalin, is incumbent upon the president to give us this information with facts. But all we saw was nothing but, reading of information, no data, no website, no source. He wasn't quoting any source, nothing. He just kept on reading. So Martin Colley took upon himself to go after the facts. Okay?
The Liberian dollar has depreciated. Appreciate that, 4.7%.
For me, one of the things, I didn't go through the whole speech, but when I was listening to the president, when he was reading, the thing that caught my attention was that one child, one chair. I don't know what that means. Some rescue mission member have to come on here to please explain to us what that one child, one chair campaign means. What does it really mean? This is mediocrity in simple. A country that pays its lawmaker $45,000 for new cars every 3 years. You want to tell me you're coming to tell us, say, you're launching a campaign for one child, one chair. So when one of the children chair broken, they will be sending on to the next campaign. What does it mean?
It's so sad. Like another part of it
makes sense. Who is the one that's writing this president's speech and fooling him?
So the current account deficit, including grants, widened to almost 26.4% of the GDP in 2023, with gross official reserves dropping to 486 million, equivalent to 2.1.
And they come here lying to all that we stupid.
You said you improved reserves to 458 million. However, 2020 data shows reserve dropped to 486 million, higher than 458 million.
Oh my God!
Like I said, it's not coming from anybody else.
Oh my God!
From someone who supported this government highly, and this is what we're receiving now. But
so the people would be brave enough to come and lie to the Liberian people like this? Are you kidding me? Yeah, I gave up on these people, man. Yeah, even if you will not do anything, give the people the facts. Don't lie to them. Don't lie to them. That's just way below the belt. Wow.
Now, another one again. Martin read it. It says, the president said yesterday, I'm pleased to announce that we have trained over 10,000 young people across all 15 counties and empower 50 teams with seed funding to start digital businesses. He said, Mr. President, let me remind you about your fundamental promise of 2024. He said, the figure of 10,000 you've been trained is not true.
Thank you.
Which technological infrastructure do you have across all 15 counties to train over 10,000?
Exactly.
He said, what kind of structure you got over the county to train 10,000 people?
Who put that speech together? And people.
And those who criticize the ball, then it said, oh, the man getting paid, but no, you're stop it. You ain't getting. It may getting paid, and you ain't paid to do the
right thing.
To become under my own government, he put the power. No, you stop it.
But if they say the man getting paid by who he getting paid by?
No.
Who paying him?
Well, Ansu, you can't want that take some cost for the Liberian people 1 year for them, little bit. What they say about the president's speech, little bit, please. Take you at least 10 calls, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can get it going.
It's a disappointment, actually.
Yes, man. It's sad that who wrote that speech? The president never did the president justice.
They never did anything good for the old man. Seriously.
Yeah.
It's a disappointment and a disgrace for a whole rescue mission. I saw both people in that mission.
Okay, guys. So for participation, you can call us on 077-285961. 077-285961 are the numbers for you to call and be live on closing argument here tonight. Yeah, on Truth FM 077-285961. Let's get to the phone line and pick up first caller. Caller, good evening. Yes, sir. Go ahead. Let's see, my brother.
Thank you for your talk. But you see, the issue is rescue team doing that very quality, especially young people. But they were looking at the president, but they were looking at the president. So that when the country now, they put in the family were fit, were unfit to lead the country, but they were looking at the president and said, well, what we're doing now is what they are doing. The country that can't be there, there's only one to yeah, then they do what's happening now, you know, but I don't think nobody was their problem. Thank you.
Okay, my brother. Thanks for calling. 077-285961. 266 number. Where you alive? Yes, sir. Watch your back, please. The feedback. Yeah, go ahead. Why now?
Yeah, because the rescue mission is the one that rescue the country. And the way I'm speaking with you, I'm working with Mano Ball Plantation.
You said which mining company is that? Okay, my brother. All right, I'll try to get to you. I see which mining company is that. Go ahead, you are live. Let's hear you. Yes, sir. Okay, Paul, just walk away from your monitor, all right? We're getting feedback.
Okay, sir.
Walk away from, yeah, go ahead. Let's hear you.
The rescue mission, we get the rescue mission credit because what I said is what and that's the only government we have that they work with people.
Oh, well, that's what
yeah. People and we are getting a responsible government. We are responsible government to work. I don't care what it is, but when for him there we know that he did something.
Okay, papi. Okay, okay, pa. Thank you. Thanks for calling. Caller, let's hear you. Go ahead. That's his view, though. Let's hear you. Go ahead. That caller, you have to call back, please. Go ahead, caller. 742. Let's hear you. Yes, sir. You live.
Yeah, honestly, I've been with us, and then it forced all to now insurance, call insurance, about $125 United States dollars. They're calling right now, I'm asking them for money. Then the insurance company tell me that the government telling you third party, they will not see about us. So whatever they are doing, I do my own. And right now, the day I was coming back, I'm the one that treating them more and treating myself.
Now, which insurance company is that?
Insurance International, Front Street.
Okay, so it was doing a buy registration time. You went to the insurance company.
Yes,
You pay 125. Why?
My bag is at the police station says Monday morning, 10 o'clock. They told me to treat the woman first, then you won't go with my bag. My bag is at the station, they are putting her to get well before they see her best of her. When you treat the woman, she don't want to go with the bag.
Then what's the position of the insurance company now? That's a very good information you provide, you know.
They said that it was third party because actually someone hit me and escape. You get me?
Yeah.
They said it's third party. Someone hit me and escape. They have no to hit me. They have no one to hit somebody. They're going to share there to come in to compare the person that hit me or to prepare up to service my back. But since someone hit me and ran away, anything happened, that's a own or expensive.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was thinking that my back is own temple. And the day I was on it, although I was taking a whole chicken myself before I hit him. Going to get my passport. That's why we are going to right now.
That's some very sad news. Caller, go ahead. 085 number. Go ahead.
Yeah, how you doing, Chief?
You're live, a boss man.
Yeah, I want to say thank you for showing this.
There's a sound to your back that's not good for me, yo. That's it ain't good for us here in studio. There's a sound to your back. Either you just lower that monitor.
Yeah, I think for me, all I want to say to the president should keep focus. We listen to the speech. Yeah, one other thing that was stated within our speech that is called to go right on. One thing I would like to say again is that we believe that sometimes if you go to the market and listen to noise, you will not actually buy what you went to the market to buy.
What in that speech that is currently going on? Let's say, are we to speak as like give me example? What exactly for that speech you listen to that is currently going on? Then what you said?
We listen to increasement for the salary for all teachers that are being that have been employed, voluntary teachers, and we listen to it, and it has been going on. We know fully well that there are things that the public doing. We can understand those things, but sometimes, we have been with the little criticism. Even we see you doing good things, we still criticize you. And if you don't keep focused, you will leave the right track, and sometimes go the negative one.
Okay. All right, that's your view. Thank you. Thanks so much. Yeah, 793.
How are you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, when my first is here, calling for budget to need to say live gas station.
You're live on Truth FM. Let's hear you.
Yes, thank you for the program. Let me just say the personal speech. You were just bringing us to those that were suffering.
I ain't point your heart again.
So you were just bringing us to them. In Hillary and the nation just to law recording. So what do you have you go say that? The people are the same. They don't follow law. And what do you say good? And he said, the people said they were suffering. Now, the president said, respect is going down. So now, people buy $1,500 for bigger rest. Gas price going down. So don't mind it. And those are in my house, they teach them what? Because they carry the salary out. Master to a hand, and if for now, carry the salary out because they're just about how they live. Okay, yeah. So they don't want my house, they get outside. People, I'll get my rent or send, I'll take 15, I'll get to 25, they don't want to get outside. Or to country road. They think you're like in my house.
Ansu.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's just wait there. Get back to the guys. The message came out.
I'm sorry, we have to play this, right? You know, the president is president in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, at the African Energy Summit, and we just got this video from there, and is I don't know. I will play this video, and Librarian Pook, and I will you guys can tell us what your thoughts about it. Please play the video. Let me see. Just from Dar es Salaam. Well, play from the beginning. Play from the beginning, please. Go ahead.
A forward trajectory.
My sister.
On a forward trajectory. Your Excellency, over to you.
No, but please let the man. I want to play what the part the man asking the question. Please play.
My sister, the
Boakai Senior President, this panel, but certainly not the least, His Excellency Mr. Joseph Inyuma Boakai Senior President of the Republic of Liberia. We've talked about numbers in terms of access, and for Liberia, it is 32% of the population that has access to electricity. Again, the vast majority of them being in the capital city of Monrovia, and very little in the rural areas. And with regards to clean cooking, we're talking about 1%. But your government does have huge ambitions of reversing that. What are the major pillars of your national compact? And what innovative financing and investment models are you looking at to reverse this trend and put your country on a forward trajectory? Your Excellency, over to you.
Let me thank my sister, the President, Dr. Smith, son, for inviting us to come here. I think it's also an opportunity because the last time I was over here was about 30 years ago, and I don't see any other thing that would have brought me here either. I want to thank you for this opportunity, and I want to also quickly thank you for what I saw here today. You're rewarding innovation, people who are doing small things. It's not just encouraging them, it's also making the younger ones aware that energy is important. We are honored to be here today, and we want to thank you for all that you've done to make us comfortable. Achieving universal energy access is essential to drive prosperity, inclusion, and sustainable recognition. We in Liberia, and I want to thank my friend and brother, Edison, for also working with partners like the World Bank, the Rockefeller Foundation, and also all of those who are contributing to helping us bring solution to our energy problem. I think also it's also a good management in terms of the African Development Bank taking that board to make itself available to be able to work with partners. We are excited to be here today, to be among those that have been considered to listen to our energy problems and be able to contribute. We are doing a lot. In fact, we are very blessed in terms of availability of means by which we can improve our energy problem. The country is well watered. Liberia has one of the highest rainfall in the region. And we think that hydropower is, and I would think that the Senate knows about it more than myself because he was the first who was suggesting this morning for how many megawatts we can get from our St. Paul River. And under the arrest agenda, power is very critical. We believe that we can bring a lot to achieving prosperity. We have 46% of the West African forest still intact in Liberia. So we have the advantage of being able to improve our electricity without affecting the carbon. Transforming our energy sector is the cornerstone of our national development. The plan arrest agenda for inclusive development. We have been working with the private partners. As a matter of fact, we have launched a lot of solar power projects. One of the last was at 20 megawatts. But we believe that this partnership will be able to help us to bring about speedy development of our electricity need and help to improve agriculture, education, the health situation in the country. I don't see anything else that will matter most than electricity. When I was landing here last night, I looked at the lights and I was wondering what would they have been without electricity. Yes, it is true that only 33% of our population is connected, and we want to make good on that by making use of our water system, the hydro, the solar, and also the meeting here today will enable us to connect us with potential partners. We've been receiving partners, but we believe that a forum such as this will expose us to people who are investors, and I would like to invite them to work with us to develop our energy system. We believe also that women will be helped a lot because they bear the burden of looking for wood to cook and do many things. We believe that it takes a lot of their time. It will allow them to pursue education, work in the workforce, and help them to take care of other chores. That is why through our National Energy Compact, we aim to electrify 100,000 households annually, leveraging both the grid expansion and distributed renewable energy solutions.
Mr. President, I'm truly sorry. I would just like to remind you that we have to conclude, unfortunately, because we are running out of time. Sorry about that.
That's always the disadvantage of being the last. So we are fully committed. We believe that this commitment that we have made today is a commitment that we will not adhere to. We are very much interested in it. We do not put ourselves in anything that we don't believe. And we can show you that Liberia is going to be moving towards sufficiency in energy production because we believe energy is crucial to development. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Excellency President Nyenwolo.
Wow. But look, this just happened in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, at the African Energy Summit, where the president attended. As soon as he ended his message yesterday, he got on the plane the private jet that was sent for by, I think, the Ghanaian president sent that jet to take it to Tanzania. But I mean, I would, Sarah, I mean, let's start with you. What's your thoughts about what you just witnessed?
I don't know what to say, Tomalin. That whole appearance, whatever he said was so blurry. I couldn't understand anything. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how we got here. Seriously, I don't know how we got here. I mean, how will you have our president go sit over there and, you know, spewing us reading stuff that I don't know what the lady had to interrupt to tell him to, Mr. President, we out of time. I mean, it's just disgraceful. It's so disappointing. Seriously. I mean, that poor facts where it belongs. Nothing about no hate on President Wakai. But this is a disgrace. Seriously. This is something important to the Liberian people. Energy, life, LEC. We don't people that what did the lady said? What did he said that the 2% of our people
have access to.
Yeah, and you sitting over there chewing your mouth. That's a disgrace. We needed to hear something concrete from the president, something very concrete. But what he said over there, I understand nothing. Just when a journalists were interviewing, you got called by to his sister. All that he said, I understand nothing. Now what happened? I understand nothing about the way I'm not allowed to you.
The people are welcome, but let me say this, right? You know, this is not about anything about politics. This is just reality. And I mean, to be frank with you, my observation, you can tell that he was tired. He's looking tired, very tired.
Exactly.
Yes, and you see his voice weak, everything. And I don't know whether they're preparing for this conference, because that question, I mean, you just expect that kind of question to come and have it ready at your fingertip, you know. And like somebody said in the comment section, you should have done it verbatim, you know, like read we're all looking at the paper. There's that kind of question, you answer it with all reading what people give you to read. You know, that's what makes, if you look on the faces of the other presidents, I'm sure they were a little bit shocked and so forth, but I don't know who handing the president, but they're not doing it well. They're not doing the country fair. You cannot do it to this country. If the president is going for a summit, the national summit, prepare him well. After giving that long speech, and like he said, he came last. If he wasn't forced to go there, you know, you gotta send somebody there. Send your vice president, your foreign minister, send somebody there. But he went through after giving that long speech, and then he had to go to this conference.
He looked tired.
He looked tired, and then the question that I don't think he answered the question either, you know.
No.
And it's sad. But like hear from other people. Dr. Pearson, welcome. Peabody, welcome. Peabody, you're waiting on this, what you just saw on the video.
Well, good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. I think when I be honest, the flight that person went on was a private jet. It was not the official. I think the Ghana government has 2 planes. I just checked it out. I didn't see that plane being part of one that are owned by the Ghanaian government. I think it's a private jet. Wow. Secondly, I don't think the president appeared too strong and healthy in mind and body to really sit up stage. I think every Liberian will agree with me that our president, maybe he was tired, but I think this is how he talked, this is how he present. But he didn't. His voice seemed to be fitting away, you know.
Disappoints.
His voice seemed to be fitting away. The moderator had to call him to attention because there was not time conscience.
Right.
Give him a paper to look at. You know, others will sit there and just speak extemporaneously, you know, being the president of Liberia, knowing about everything that's happening. But even with reading what they gave him, it really did not. I don't know how much we gather from there. The other folks sitting in that room. I don't know how much they gathered from the president's message. I think his speech writer or those who prepare him for this kind of occasion, I think they need to do better. I think they need to really set up the president in a way that he can represent. But that I don't know how much. Even I'm listening to this, I don't know how much I gather from my own president, who I understand as a Liberian, speaking in the Liberian way. I don't know how much I gather from what the president said. But I'm telling you, it's not good. But I wish him good luck. Maybe some tangibles will come out of it, But he didn't sound too well to me. In his voice sounded very shrill and that's a classic example of a very old man. A classic example of a very old man.
Yeah, and I agree. You saw at the end of his speech yesterday, he was tired, and right after that, he had to jump on the plane to go, and he went there. I thought it would have allowed him to rest and maybe prepare him well, but like I said, I hold no ill will against this president. I want him to succeed. I want him to be successful. I did not vote for him, but I want him to be successful. If he succeed, the country will succeed. The country will win. It's always about the greater good of the country and not above ourselves. So I'm just not happy with handlers. I don't think they are being fair to him and the country. And I hope they can understand this kind of a video should provoke their conscience to know that they are not doing the country well. Dr. Pearson, welcome, and let's hear from you.
Thank you, Tomalin. It's a pleasure being on the closing argument. I want to say thanks to you all for keeping this platform alive. Sarah, my first time meeting you. I want to say hi to you. Dr. Peabody, hi to you, sir. Listen, there's nothing that's strange about that video. Tomalin, if you can recall, one of the president's last visits, campaign visits to Lofa. You remember when he came from the campaign, and then he went home to where he was residing, and they had this impromptu press conference for him. And you recall the video where for a split second he was completely absent-minded as to what was happening around him, and they had to bring him back to attention. And so you write the point that it's sad that in this day and age, for a country that needs a progressive leadership, that the nation would settle down for a president who does not have the energy, does not have the wherewithal in this time and age to be progressive for the kind of change we need. A lot of Liberians you talk to, they will tell you, Liberia right now, you need no soft-handed person. President Boycott is being pulled, by handlers, like you right to put it. But listen to the question that they asked our president, right? He had gone there to attend a conference that is projecting 300 million connectivity for electricity, across Africa. And the guy precisely asked our president about the innovative, and modern model that he's going to use, to bring change to his country that is lagging behind, his peers in Africa. And the president took almost 5 minutes. Jumping here and there. He's not consistent. He's not organized. His thought process is disconnected from the conversation that he's having, and that goes to say that it is normal for an individual who is 80 years old and over. He just I love to travel from Liberia to Tanzania, or even to Ethiopia or to South Africa. You're talking, pretty much 7 hours flight, close to 7 hours flight or even more. And now you have the president who has gone through a situation with the sonar, standing in the sun for almost an hour trying to give a speech, and then drag on a flight, travel for 7 hours without any rest, and then he runs into this conference. He's supposed to address this conference. What time did you have to prepare him? Prepare him for the sonar before I say prepare him for that conference, And I can understand if he had a young man a bright young man just out of college 2-3 years ago, or 10 years or 15 years ago, abreast of his field, and he goes to such a conference or crumble what is happening in the developed world, he can easily articulate his ideas, his view, and where he wants to go, you know. But again, you know, I'm reaching to a place where I'm beginning to feel a little sorry. And I don't know how it's going to affect my tune when it comes to us critiquing our government to see change, but you know, it's now becoming more of a being sorry than being critical, because you can see the intentionality of those who's pushing this elderly man into terrain that he has no capacity for. And I think we need to pause and look back and see how President Boubacar, you know, look, I said this on other platforms, and I can't hesitate to say it today, and Liberians are listening to me. There's nothing wrong with the president knowing that he doesn't have the energy for the job and letting it go. Because we don't have any more time to waste, Timothy. We don't.
Look, I can't disagree with you. And right now, for all Liberians, I will call all Liberians to take away politics from there. Take your partisans. It's about the countries and the future now. You see what's happening in America today. They are sending people back home, going back home. All that going to be rest on the shoulder of the country. The society will have to accept them and to get them reorientated in the society. It's something that we all got to be worried about now. And then with the leadership of the country heading that way, look, it's not time to play politics. My friend Joman Jada, I'm surprised. If I were him, I shouldn't even say a word. What's happening now is not about politics, about George Weah, whatever the case. George Weah is not president anymore. He's gone. He's former president. That focus on the future right now. Okay, but the future right now, what we're watching, what we're witnessing in the national stage should be troubling to any Liberian, because what I'm worried about now of country's future. What happens? So we're looking at now who should be who will be the next president of our country. Okay, I should look at right now, because we are treading on the wrong path. We shouldn't take it for a joke. Okay, it's a serious thing. People within the administration now are beginning to even whisper that, man, what you guys are saying, we all got to think about it. Therefore, about politics now. Let's be serious now. We all got to come together and do something. Honestly, we think positively about the country. It's not about what other person are supported. No, it's not about it right now. It's about the greater good of the country. And I hope and pray that this particular video we just watched that happened a few minutes ago in Tanzania, right now it's trending. People are concerned. I mean, you get it. The chat rooms are boiling now. People are concerned about what did you witness, and this is not fair to the country though. We should be thinking about it. I wish the president good health. I wish him the best, but I pray and hope that if they come to the point where he cannot make it, the country should not be put in a situation. You know, I saw today one of the president's advisor on foreign affairs. So it's a man I've been knowing since our little boy, Samuel Dotan. He was former ambassador, former deputy foreign minister. I saw them holding on to him, walking with him. I mean, you can't do the country like this. You can't take. I mean, they got young people who will be advisors and so forth. You know, but let's be for real. But that's what we got right now. But we got to pray for the country and who's the best for the country. And then lastly, let us all put our ideas together. Do something. You cannot just sit down and just say, well, for this party. It's not about party time. It's about Liberia. So, I mean, quickly, we can just quickly talk about the speech. Everybody getting to say about that video again. We can move on to the Sona yesterday quickly, and then we can move on to something else. But that's before we go to the Sona. You guys wasn't here earlier, but lawmaker Yeke was threw out today from the session. For me, my position was they should escort him instead of physically putting hands on him and removing him. What he was saying, he was giving his awareness to vote, and he said that Richard Kun is not a speaker, legitimate speaker. Thomas Fala should preside because he's a deputy speaker. The speaker is not present. And we saw in the Supreme Court action yesterday, it proved that they are not recognized as speaker. But what are your thoughts about Yeke quickly before we can move on? Sarah, we'll start with you.
Yeah, actually, what I saw today, Yeke being thrown out of the house was just nothing but disgrace. Because this is the same thing we have been seeing from time to time, the rule of law, doing what is right for the country. Yeke will continue to embarrass this speaker because he's illegitimate. They did not recognize the rules of the house in order to get him where he is. He's illegitimate. He's only legitimate to the 43 members that voted him there, but he's not legitimate to the rest of the other folks. So he will continue to have that stigma until they can do the right thing. And I saw some kind of picture. He went to some elementary school, was coaching the little kids to follow, to obey the laws. How can you be telling kids to obey the law when you yourself are not obeying the law? It's a disservice to our country, to our little children. You can't do that. So Yeke and so many other lawmakers who know and feel that this speaker is not legitimate, he did not get elected through the process, they will continue to embarrass him. I think they should get ready to throw a lot of them out, because these guys will stand for their right, and they are right to do that because the speaker is illegitimate. Why are they throwing him out? Why are they doing him like that? Because you have a bunch of people who are lawless. Even if Yeke expressed himself, like you said, they could have escorted him. They could have done it properly. But being who they are, lawless, rebel, they decided to do what they did. And it doesn't show a good image for our country. It doesn't. I know in other countries, lawmakers can fight, they can do this and do that, but they follow the rules. There are rules that govern this body. Okay? And Yeke was exercising his right. This speaker is illegitimate. He's not a legitimate speaker. Until he said he's popular now, he got people under his gavel. He can do the right thing by collecting the 49 people that he needs and do the right thing for the country. Instead of hiring all these embarrassment. This is embarrassing. I will stop this one, but this is embarrassing, and that was an infringement on Yeke's right. That's how I will put it. Thank you.
I think it's very clear that Richard Cohen is not the speaker of the House. We all can see very clear that the Supreme Court, after passing the law, refused to accept to even attend the SONA yesterday. That showed that they were not in favor. The Chief Justice traveled. That showed they were not in favor of how the law is being abused by the executive. Richard Cohen, not a speaker, and you see how ruthless they are. They have brought complete disgrace to the House of Representatives. They have brought it, and these guys they're not capable of even leading our country. Now, a young boy, a young girl who will look at this video and see that they are abusing elected representative only because he stood his ground. He didn't do. He stood his ground for the fact that he refused. He refused to abide by the illegitimate operation. He said, "I don't recognize you as the speaker. You're not the speaker," and he's being honest. And to see how they try to abuse him. Yeke is the man who speak out. Yeke don't care. Yeke speak out. But to see how they physically calling people to abuse the elected representative, they have brought complete disrespect to the House. Now the House is worth nothing. I mean, the House is the lowest among the parliament in Africa. Liberia House of Representatives, the lowest. In the first place, Richard Cohen was forced there to be speaker. But the most disgraceful part is for our president, who just spoke about the rule of law in his country. Just yesterday, he talked about the rule of law. Will sit there and violate the law, the Constitution, and operate with a man who is not even recognized. And that's why you get disruption, you get corruption, and you get all kinds of stuff. And that's what we're seeing in that country today. I mean, look at lawmakers. Look at lawmakers behaving like street children, complete street kids. If our street kids even have morals, they behave well. Look how the lawmakers are behaving. And you want to make law for the land? You want to bring out legislation for Liberia to follow? It is a disgrace. It's a disgrace to our country. And that's why the country will not go anywhere.
Susan, welcome. Yeah, the PSC, you want to weigh in on that video, on that what you heard, you saw today?
Yeah, quickly, Timmy. And you know, the Liberian people who listening to us, you know, there are certain things that is wrong with what happened today with the Yeke Koruba situation that we need to pick up and learn from. You know, the first thing I would like to bring to the Liberian people attention is that, you know, there is a saying our old people have in Liberia way back. They say the way you make your bed, that how you will lie on it. And we look back on what is happening today at the legislature and within the administration of the President Boyka, and we see the very same Yeka Koruba that we saw 6 years ago. That's the very same Yeka Koruba that I saw 6 years ago. I didn't see Yeka Koruba, Representative Yeka Koruba, doing anything that is different from what he did 6 years ago. And we've said this over and over, that there has to be some level of respectability in how we govern. And so when we were saying before that it was wrong for people to behave the way we saw Yeka Koruba behave 6 years ago, and the same Unity Party and Joseph, President Joseph Boyka followers were there supporting this attitude because they were using it as a conduit to get to power. They all celebrated this behavior. They celebrated this behavior. Now it comes back to bite them. You know, so when we look at this image, then we ask ourselves, what do we want to communicate to our young population? You're giving a mixed signal, right? So yesterday, Yeka Koruba did the same thing. We were on record and saying, look, this is wrong for Liberia. We must deport ourselves in a respectable manner. President Boyka kept quiet because he will ride on Yeka Koruba's back to the presidency, so it was good at the time. The Queen and the others, they allowed these things to happen. And so now, under the very, how you call it, a speaker, the legitimate speaker, I want to say, the legitimate speaker, Jeff Fonati Kofa, Yeka did the same thing. Yeka did this very same thing. And he was tolerated. And now these guys come and denigrate the legitimate speaker. They say all the worst thing how to say about this Speaker Kofa, and now they assume a leadership, and then they come and assert their own lawmaker in the presence of the media. And you know, listen, if you don't want to take anything off of this, let me be clear with this, Liberian people. Yeka Koruba behavior is not what we want for our national legislature, the deportment of our lawmakers. That's not what we want. But Yeka Koruba is what President Boyka made him to be and allow him to become. And now they are now in power, and their own individual that they have created, they cannot tolerate him. And I feel that's wrong. And then last but not the least, you know, when you see the video, Peabody, take a keen look at the end of the video. Not only that these sheriff were escorting him out, but they literally shove him. They literally push him. In other words, they manhandle the lawmaker. Where is this tendency coming from? Because it was encouraged by President Joseph Boyka when he sent the Liberian National Police to the Capitol building, and they invaded the Capitol building, and they manhandled lawmakers there, and they went with impunity. So now these guys are beginning to see it as something that is normal, that the executive branch and the executive arm of the government can be used to manhandle the legislative branch of government. Now we are seeing this thing, we think it's okay, but I was rest by saying, in the next 2 to 3, 4, 5 years after President Boyka maybe is no longer president, what will we say if this is meted out against those who are now in power? What would they say? You know, we cannot set bad precedents and expect good to come out of our country. Our president, in his speech yesterday, he said he called for reconciliation, unity. Is this what we're talking about? Reconciliation, unity? Is that what we're talking about? I mean, it's sad. It's very sad.
It's very sad. It's sad indeed. Sad for our country. Sad for the government. And I mean,
Look at the way they're
Susan,
shoving
you've
the
been
man.
watching.
Shoving it.
Susan, you've been watching this video. You've been following it.
It's crazy.
I just like to hear you. I just want you to chime in here. What you think about this video on how Yeke Kehleboe was treated.
Well, when it comes to Joseph Boakai, I'm not surprised at all. I'm not surprised because, I mean, the UP government, they have always shown this behavior of, you know what, we can do this to this person, and we are not going to accept this. This is the same Yeke Kehleboe. I think with Yeke level is much better when you compare Yeke with a man like Prophet Key who sit on Facebook and insult women. Salib, the same Joseph Boakai we're talking about today, who is the president of Liberia, was in communication with Prophet Key. If Joseph Boakai can speak to Prophet Key and embrace a man like Yeke to, cause all the noise on the internet, disturb in Liberia, why now? Why are you stopping this man? And it's so sad that this is the way that Liberian politics, that's the direction it's going right now. You and myself can sit right here and say, you know what, we're against this act, we don't like what's happening, but that is the direction. I am against what is happening because this is not supposed to happen. I was on the platform a couple of days ago where we were discussing the Nima politics. The both of us, I went to the MDR. Those guys that was stuck just because of speaking their minds. Just because they said something about PYJ dying from what? The tension from the war crimes court. What Boakai did, he and Kun decided to fire these guys. So right now, treating Yeke like this, I'm not surprised. Where is the freedom of speech? Well, when we come on Facebook today and say exactly what they did a couple of years ago, they come on social media and insult us. Raise all kinds of insults on us. So, I mean, for now, to be honest with you, I am disappointed in the Joseph Boakai government because this is not the freedom of speech that you actually who for the rest, those of Yeke Kehleboe, the lives of Henry Costa and the rest that came out here and said so many things. So why are you stopping it now? You're supposed to be feeling the same things that you allow these guys to do, because being as old as this old man is, you expect him to be very responsible enough. You expect Joseph Boakai to be responsible, but the old man is not responsible. He doesn't even know what's happening around him. If you look into the statement of his police director, some of the things that they've been putting out there is wrong. They're in government, but they're acting in opposition. What they're doing to Yeke today is like human rights. You're going against human rights. It's been 1 year now. 1 year, you went the CDC headquarters looking for things that nobody know what they were looking for. So this old man is irresponsible. That's just the bottom line. You cannot support freedom of speech. You enjoy freedom of speech. Now you want to deprive other people from freedom of speech. It's just wrong. So if this is the dimension of Liberian politics, I think we should roll with it. I'm not against Yeke Kehleboe speaking out. I'm not against Yeke Kehleboe doing whatever he wants to do. It's part of the politics. We need somebody that will disturb in the house. That's what all of us will enjoy here now. If you say, oh, Yeke Kehleboe should not go and enjoy, then what do we look forward to? Yeke needs to go and disturb the house so we can enjoy the Liberian politics. That's what we've been enjoying over the years. So for me right now, he needs to stop harassing other innocent people, because the same thing that they did in their government when we was in power for 6 years. I think we supposed to enjoy the exact same thing they enjoy. We're supposed to be enjoying it this time around.
You are so right. Like you stated, they acting like they are the opposition.
Mhm.
Susan, you just struck a point in one of the things you said here that uh, the president don't know what's going on around him, and I agree. Uh, I think President Waka is out of touch with his own government. He has no clue decision that have been made behind him, and the fact here is he's aging. He's aging, and the energy. He doesn't have the energy and stuff like that to really clamp down or just sit down and say, let me sit here and review certain things and see what is right for my country. We see a lot of errors being put in place. We see a lot of stuff that it continue to go on. The first place, the president is an enabler. Look how he had destroyed the whole legislature. He doesn't care. Okay, now you got people there who don't even have a clue of what they're doing. They are only there. They are legislature to get money. Every little legislation that come up, they want to get it going so they can get some money from in it, which is very sad. Now, Tony had the agenda, but he's not here. But let's go into something very pressing. I think we talked about it yesterday. Now, I
Mhm.
understand you say that stop. They're going to put a freeze on aid in Liberia. Like for 3 months because the U.S. government stopped offering aid. And use it depend Liberia depend on use it for a lot of things, for healthcare, stuff for a lot of things. How is this going to impact Liberia? Let's start with you, Sarah, and then we'll come to Dr. Pearson, and then we'll go to Susan.
Dr. Peabody, sometimes when I think about our country, it makes me want to cry. It makes me teary for a lot of reasons, because we all, regardless of party affiliations, we all want the best for our country. And every government that comes with an agenda to do what is right for the people, for our country. And sometimes it becomes a disappointment when one government comes after the other and the level of expectation that the people want or expect from their government is not met. It just saddens me. So the Weir government was there for 6 years. People said the worst about Weir government, they were not up to the task. Before the Weir government, there was Ellen government. People said the worst. And Ellen was there for 12 years. Weir came for 6 years. Now we have Unity Party for another 6 years, preferably. And just by looking at what's going on, it just saddens me. So if the UN, the US government put a halt to, aid coming to other countries for 3 months, we all know our country largely depend on these organizations. We all know that. So how our people gonna manage is something for all of us to ponder over. Because for this government, we already know this government is not interested in the livelihood of our people. At least from what we see, that's not the case. For what I see, I don't know the lenses of other people, but for what I see, that's not the case. So, it just saddens me. It just, sometimes I just wish I was someone who really had the upper hand to really help my people to a larger extent, to do something well. Because our people are helpless right now. Our people are helpless right now. I don't mean to sound, whatever the kid, I don't mean to sound like so sorrowful, but this is the situation our people are going through. United States government and other, organizations, Our people depend on all these organizations to for a better living, so to speak, in terms of aid, like the World Health Organization. I think they put a freeze on that too, funding for the World Health Organization. So how our people gonna, our government is gonna navigate this, with all the kind of stealing? You would think by now maybe the House of Representatives or the Senate will try to sit down and think through how this is going to affect the government, what they can do, something in preparation for the challenges, more challenges that are going to come. I don't see it, so I don't know. I'm just so sad about the whole thing. That's all I can say. I'm just sad for my people. I'm sad for the country. It's just, hopefully, maybe there'll be a light at the end of the tunnel, but we don't know. I will give you guys a chance to talk, but it's just sad for me. For my end, it's just so sad.
Dr. Pearson, go ahead, and then we'll go to Suzanne. Welcome, Mr. Sharif. Good to see you. Welcome. So, Dr. Pearson, go ahead, Dr. Pearson.
Yeah, Dr. Peabody. And, that's one of the reasons why we need innovative leadership in Liberia. We need robust leadership in Liberia. We need knowledgeable leadership in Liberia. And we need honest leadership in Liberia. I was sitting in office this morning and there was a senior management meeting call. And we got on the line only to be told that the federal government has suspended or seized or frozen all federal funding to states across the United States. And my state is also affected. My office is affected.
Yep.
All federal funding was frozen today by the federal government through Donald Trump. Yep. And they're saying they're reassessing all of the different projects and programs that we're running. I work for the Department of Human Services, the Division of Mental, Division of Mental Health and Addiction. So the problem here is that it is not just Liberia that is having issues. The federal government has also suspended, like Sarah said, suspended funding to WHO. And don't forget that suspension also is going to trickle down to other UN institutions that US is the highest donor towards. The federal government is also cutting funding to some European institutions that they are funding. And so what happens is that when there's a trickle down instead of these different funding freezes, what happens is that the other countries who got extra money to give out will start holding the money close to themselves and want to use it on their own people. But yet, then this is when we come and look back into Liberia and we see our lawmakers, instead of being innovative and decisive in developing our country, they are there fighting in the House of Representatives. The president is trying to control the representative, control the senators, control the judiciary, they control the executive, and everything's helter-skelter. And so this is worrying. This is very worrying. And let me take this one step further. And not only that, we are seeing reduced benefits from foreign aid that we are looking to get from, but Dr. Peabody, we just spent 15 million off budget expenditure in 2014. The overpass that we depending on China to build in Congo Town cost 22 million, I think 20 or 20 million. According to Jeremiah Pierre, to the Foreign Affairs, the Information Minister, Jeremiah Pierre, he said the overpass at the Congo Town there at the ministerial complex cost 20 million. But yeah, we can give 22 million to NSA without accountability. We can give 20 million to this other area without accountability. And it just goes to say that we do have the money. We have the money. But what we are not doing is that we're not using the money for the benefit of the people who are suffering in our country. And then we're waiting for aid. Our president is sitting in Tanzania and he's discussing about free money to have access to electricity when the very hydro we got at wet plains is not properly funded, properly supported. What are we doing to ourselves? And then at the end of the day, we cry and say we are independent, we are sovereign, nobody should tell us what to do, but then we don't want to spend our independent resources to develop our own country for the betterment of the young people tomorrow. And it's so sad. It's so sad. You know, I want to say this, right? In closing on this point. Listen, the guys that are in power right now around President Boyka, young men like myself, especially there are a lot of young people like myself, besides the elderly Grace Payton out there. Where do you see yourself in the next 6-7 years from now? Where? So tomorrow, when President Boyka is not in office and you've served for 5 years in government, and now you're no longer in government, where do you see yourself? Where? Will you go back to walking, the Liberian men say walking by line? Will you go back to driving taxi? Will you go back to riding keke? Will you be able to buy the same $3,000 gasoline for your generator at home? Will you be able to have free car for $45,000 or $8,000, $90,000 to ride? Will you be able to afford that? We need to improve this country for the benefit of all of us and for sustainable development, not just temporary gain. And President Boyka needs to know this. And our youth, after saying that.
Yeah, Susan, you've been followed. Let me bring up this, Susan, if you want to talk about, you say suspending aid, but today we saw the president getting yesterday in another private jet. And even looked like to upgrade for him. But
yeah,
we saw speeches around this country, in Liberia. We saw them making video about President Weah riding private jet and doing it. The president now is like, I don't care what he said no more. I'm rolling everywhere I go, I'm rolling private jet. What you say about that?
yeah. I'm just going to touch base on the whole usage and the aid for Liberia. I don't understand how my sister Sarah is and Dr. Clarence, they're saying that they're feeling sad for Liberia. As for me, I don't feel sad for Trump stopping aid from going in Africa. It's about time our African leaders stop corrupting us. The Americans have been giving us aid for years. Years. What have we done with it? Let's be honest. They have been giving us aid, money. What have we done with it? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So as for me, when you do the comparison, the rescue mission said that Mr. Boyka has 45 years of experience. So stopping some type of aid for 3 months, it wouldn't stop anything. Okay, this man has 45 years of experience, so he should be able to do things that based on his experience. I think we all saw during President Weah regime, we saw that that was the time the COVID outbreak, we all went through the COVID outbreak and we saw the effect that has everywhere. So if President Weah could cope through COVID outbreak, then what about stopping 3 months aid? Once we have a president who has the experience, he should be able to take care of things. He should be able to take care of things. So I don't feel bad at all. I know that we have a president with 45 years of experience that will have things under control. A president with 45 years of experience that is flying private jet. So I don't feel bad at all. I think 3 months is enough for us to realize that we Africans, it's about time we stand up. Our African leaders, it's about time they take responsibility. It's about time the young ones stand up and speak out. Because even the aids that we're talking about, most time it's going to their own private institutions or it's going to family members. What benefit? Out of all the years of suppliers that we have received, medical suppliers, tell me, ain't our leaders still leaving Liberia and traveling all over around the world? Joseph Boyka goes for treatment in America. So I don't feel bad. I think this is the time for our young people to stand up and know the corrupt leaders that we have. I don't feel bad at all. And kudos to kudos to Trump for taking such a bold step.
It's good. But Donald Trump is something else. By the way, the federal judge had put a stay order on that freezing of aid to, to nonprofit and other group in America. Federal judge had put a stay order on that. So Trump now he's coming up with another thing. He offering all federal government to resign officials to resign, and they will pay them up to September. If they want to resign, they can resign, pay them up to September. So I don't know.
Trump not playing.
Yeah. So, but let's go to Abu. Abu, you've been following the conversation. It's good to see you. You've been following the conversation. I want you to come in here. I want you to chime in here.
Thank you. I want to say good afternoon. Oh, I'm sorry. Good evening. It's been a long day. Good evening to my fellow panelists. My name is Sharif Abu. But Peabody, I just don't want us to be surprised that Liberians are not ready for Liberia to progress. As I was driving from the gym to my house, I was listening to you guys. There was a video play where the majority black, booted Honorable Yeket and threw him out. If you look at that scene, that video, and just put it, and just go back and look at the president experience in government, where his experience came from. So what do you expect? This man served in the 80s, the 90s, where there were violence. What led to the Civil War, the 14 Years War. Everything he learned from there is what he's doing today. So we shouldn't be surprised. The only thing we should now be praying for is that we shouldn't have people coming from across the border with guns. And none of us on here want that. So the 40 years experience, actually, that is exactly what President Boca is doing. He got no new experience. I mean, look at his foreign advisor. I mean, what's the guy need? The old man need? He gave him he gave him what good. They got to even hold his hand and carry him to the sauna. You look at all of that and people that surround, the president in his corridor. Just look at that. You're not going to expect anything from him. I mean, it's fun. When the video, when you see after they throw the honorable out, and you saw the other lawmaker jubilating, laughing, saying, "Sweet for the man. That's how we want it. We would do it this way." I thought we got freedom of speech. I thought Jacob Kuruba, I don't agree with all what he's doing, insulting. I think he can do it better, in a better way, propagate his, whatever you want to do, his messages in different way. I mean, it will make sense because he's a lawmaker, because he's going to serve as an example to other young leaders that are coming up. However, that's why we have the Constitution, and the Constitution backed that, freedom of speech. So you cannot force the man. I don't know what they do in there. I'm not sure if it is mandatory to recognize the speaker. I don't have any idea. But if he doesn't want to, if he doesn't want to, recognize the speaker, let him flow. And if you want to put him out, I think you can do it in a better way, not to push him. I mean, look at the sergeant. They pushed him. That man could have fell today and something happened to him, or something happened some kind of way. And it's Yeke today, they guys are laughing. What if another speaker comes tomorrow and just follow the same footsteps? Somebody mentioned that. So we are heading, to a very, very bad place, and I don't even know how to refer to that. But again, when it comes to the aid and all of that, I mean, I would feel bad to say the United States government is pulling out from the World Health Organization or whatever, because we got family back home, we got malaria, we got all the diseases that are in Liberia, and of course, we Liberians are living heavily on foreign aid. So when these funds are taken away, it's going to affect our country one or the other way. However, Susan just mentioned that we should be able to do something. Liberia is so rich. Liberia is so rich. People, you and I here in America, we want to go back, but we are afraid because the same healthcare system is bad. I mean, if somebody is giving you money every day to eat, and at the end of the day, I mean, we all living in America, and you get working people to go work, and you refuse to work, and I may stop giving you money, who are at fault? You are at fault. So I think the government, this will only empower other African leaders or maybe show them some type of light. I'm not sure they're going to see it, but I think it's not good. But however, I will stop here. I think the African leaders are supposed to stand out, especially Liberia. We need to find some kind of a solution where we will be able to fund our healthcare system and the critical aspect of things that make the poor people's lives better. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we see, I mean, you guys, both of you guys struck a very strong point here. When you guys talk about the African countries, you know, most of the African countries, I can say they are a step ahead of Liberia. You're talking about Ghana, you're talking about Nigeria, you're talking about even Guinea, Sierra Leone. They are about a step ahead of Liberia in terms of trying to be self-sufficient. Ivory Coast, for example, you know, we are still depending on foreign direct assistance to our budget. Our budget, the government had $800 something million budget. 70% of that amount, they are dependent on foreign assistance. EU, the United States of America, of course, and other countries to help us meet that goal. And we are nowhere because corruption has become so prolific in that country. I mean, it's spreading under this government. Every day you wake up and read something on the news, it's something about corruption, misappropriation. It has gone even to the court. A few days ago, the Rule of Law Caucus filed a motion with the court in Monrovia. The next day, the judge came out and said they threatened his life. If they threatened to remove him, they threatened to burn down his house. The next day, the judge said, "I'll rule on Monday." He go on Monday and say, "You know what? I can't take this case. I'm going to throw this case outside," and stuff like that. Only because he was threatened, and they plan to remove him or burn his home. So he said he's not going to go that far. He's not going to even take up the case and stuff like that. What direction are we going in, Sarah?
Dr. Peabody, you know, it's just a vicious cycle. I mean, they're going to continue to do that. They're going to continue to do that. It is clear that's the reason why I said today what I said, that either the Supreme Court is cleverly in cahoots with the government in the majority bloc, but they're hiding their hands, or, you know, they just can't do anything because they're themselves trying to protect the daily bread. Some way or the other, you know, something is going on that is not right. When the majority, when the whole thing started, we all know what the Supreme Court said, ultra-virus, okay? Now, they came out with that ruling, which was kind of confusing for everyone. And they sat down there, the justice minister went and gave an interpretation, which was completely opposite to what the ruling was. They didn't say anything. They kept quiet. So everybody now every one of them buy into it that the Supreme Court, what the Supreme Court ruled was what this justice minister interpreted, which was wrong. But I think the Supreme Court should have come up to clarify their ruling. Because these guys, the government and this majority bloc are using what the Supreme Court, you know, I mean, what the justice minister said, you know. So there will be no justice, there will be nothing for anybody. Anyone who tries to do anything in this case will either be haunted, will lose their job, or something. These guys are using everything to their disposal, the military, the police, the NSA. That's why Joseph Boyka put all of these people, put people to strategic positions because of these things. You see what they're doing to Yeke? You think anything gonna come out of it? No, nothing. The only help, the only help that the Liberian people will get, maybe from the international community, to put a hold in some of the things they're doing, to kind of scare them. But other than that, they will go above and beyond to silence anyone. It can be who, the Supreme Court. Nobody gonna get justice in anything over there. It's a done deal. They're not gonna get it. Maybe the way we have, maybe Donald Trump can look at it and say, hey, you guys gotta follow the law or this and that. Maybe they will come to themselves. But these guys are not afraid of anything. No judge gonna sit over there to rule on anything against them. It's not gonna happen. According to my opinion, I'm pretty sure it's not gonna happen. So, it's just a lost battle for the Liberian people. It's just a lost battle for the Liberian people. Nothing gonna work in terms of justice for anyone. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Dr. Pearson, what do you think is going to happen to our country? What direction are we going in?
If I can believe President Joseph Boyka from his annual message, he says that the rule of law is being strengthened. And then if that is something to go by, then I would think that President Boyka and his advisors and his government officials may be committed to turning the situation we see in the country around. And I think that would be the best course of action for us to return to the rule of law and to return to constitutional rule. If we do not do that, what I see happening is that it's going to be what they call the animal farm kind of a situation, and where interpretation of the law will be left to those who are powerful and influential. I'm shocked to see Liberia has turned into a country where the legislature has turned into the interpreters of the laws. That the majority of black lawmakers will interpret every law that they feel should go in their favor and contradict every law that comes from the courts. And then I'm left thinking, where is the country headed? But like I said, I want to believe President Boyka has said the rule of law is being strengthened. So probably he has something in plan. But if not, then I'm worried because I've seen and by record that a Liberian Guinean was taken out of our Liberian prison in the middle of the morning, around 2-3 a.m. in the morning, while he's under the court's jurisdiction and under the custody of the police, and taken out of the country and presumed to be murdered. Okay, we have records to refer to that in line with the alleged arson attack on the Capitol building, that members of Speaker Fonati Kofan's office were removed from the prison, turned over to NSA, and they were tortured.
Yep.
All right. We see number of cases of people appearing dead within various communities.
Yep.
I've seen video where there's mob violence, where on live video people stone people to death, crush their head with stones, and there's no redress with the law. But yet, when I listen to people making argument, they say go to the law. If you have issue, then go to the courts. But how do you go to the law and go to the courts and go to law enforcement when the justice is not being dispensed properly? So I think it's worrisome, and I want to just, if the associate justices did not go to that sooner as a result of the illegal removal of Speaker Kofa, and not to validate the legitimacy of the illegal Speaker Kun, then I think it's the right thing that it did. But how far is that going to go? Because the executive are supposed to enforce the law. The executive enforcing the law in reverse. The Supreme Court have said that go back and return to status quo ante, and every other sections that you're having there outside of your regular section, which was being held by the minority supported by the Constitution, is ultra variance. And then the guys come out there, and then the executive branch of government facilitated their sections and provide them security and pass a budget behind the doors of armed men. 28 to 29 to 30 lawmakers had no input in that budget, including my own district, District Number 6 in Masurado County. With that, my lawmakers did not have any input in that 2025 illegal budget. And then text messages are surfacing when Deputy Speaker Fala is texting his friends and saying seize other county development funds for certain lawmakers. And then who gives the authority to do that? Timmy puts it right. Lawmakers are equal. They all were elected officials and they went there to serve. The only reason we have speaker and deputy speaker is to have quorum and have decorum. Two things, quorum and decorum. But you want to have quorum without decorum. It doesn't work like that. And so it's saddening, and I will pray that the president's state of the nation that said the rule of law is being strengthened, probably he's working behind the scene to do something different from what we saw 12 months ago. If not, I mean, it's sad for our country.
Thank you. Let's go to Suzanne and go to Abu. Tomalin is back, and then we'll switch to Tomalin. What's up?
Yeah, like my brother Abu said, the system right now is run by an old man who believes in our old idea, that 1980 something war, how they should go and do certain things. If I can remember, and I can clearly say, I mean, when our parents started traveling in the Western countries, that's when they knew, or they could say, oh, to their children, oh, I love you back. But that was never in the typical African homes. It's also based on our experience, and now that we're flying around, you see the internet, we're seeing things differently. But Joseph Walker is an old man who believes in that old culture, that old system of doing things. And the question that I want to leave out here tonight is that we might be here and be calling the name Bwaka, but is it Joseph Bwaka that is carrying on this act, or he's just sitting there sleeping and doing nothing, and just when his workers or his ministers goes to him and say, Joseph Bwaka, this is what happening, he gives order and say, okay, you go ahead and do what you want to do. The old man is sleeping. He's not involved. He doesn't even know what's happening around him. That's just the truth. Bwaka just ain't not there. When the people go to him and say, hey, this is what happening, he say, okay, yes, you do what your thing will happen in the right way. This is what happened when you take somebody at the age of Bwaka who his whole mindset is about taking his medication in the morning and see how he's going to move around the next day. We might be here. Yes, he's the president. We're talking about Joseph Bwaka. Yes, he is the president. But does the president really know what's going on around him? See how this old man disgraced himself yesterday on that stage, putting out lies to the Liberian people. Did he even read that whole, whatever he read yesterday? Did Bwaka sat down with a logic mindset and say, okay, let me read this thing and know, okay, they want you put into this is wrong. They want you put into that. What right does Bwaka have? Because the last time I checked, I heard his wife is the one who really controlling this government. According to my close source, yes. The old man, his wife is the one that controlling things. It's not Bwaka. Bwaka is 84, for God's sake. We have parents that are in that age. The only thing they think about is how to take their medication and move the next day. Yes, at his age, the only thing he will say, okay, yes, when your cat they stay up, go take your care. He's not looking at the implication that might cause. On the contrary, that's not Bwaka mindset at the moment. So I just want to throw light on that. according to insider from Unity Party, Boakai is not even the person that running things. His wife is. And seeing the old man, his wife is also close to Boneke. Why would Joseph Boakai wife be close to Boneke? Just look at it.
Yep, she
So
visited
our
him.
country is in deep, yes, it's in deep trouble. The same thing the rescue mission came here and complained about, they're doing worse than that. It's sad. It is sad. And he might think, okay, this is I'm just going to be here for just first term. But whatever you do, I know Joseph Boakai, you're old, but whatever you do, your legacy runs down to your children. You have your grandchildren and your children in our country. So whatever he's doing right now, he think, okay, I'm just doing it. I'm only here for one term. And after my one term, I'm leaving. But your children, we will point fingers at them. We will point fingers at your grandchildren. That's all I have to say. So somebody UP so-called ministers, you guys want to put your life down for Joseph Boakai, we will have to hold you guys responsible. After 6 years, throwing a whole minister, man like Joseph Boakai out, when you know that you were able to enjoy 6 years of freedom of speech, why now? So it's quite disturbing. It's sad for our nation, but the honest truth here is Joseph Boakai is not really in control. That papi, all he thinking about is to take his medication every morning and wake up the next day, eat his healthy food that Mandela Company will recommend for him, and the American doctors have already recommended what he needs to eat to keep fit, but nothing we will see in this government. We just started talking this 1 year of talking. We have 5 years of talking and 5 years to see the worst on the administration. Dr. Peabody.
Abu, go ahead,
5
and then
years.
I believe it, and it's true that she visited Bud Nikki when she won the one election, and I saw the photo and all of that. But Abu, come up. Let's talk.
Hey, Dr. Peabody, let me say this. You know, for me, when I knowingly do something, I take blame. And as Liberian, we have to take blame. Because we knew that President Boakai had nothing to offer Liberia.
Exactly.
We knew it. And some of us here, including most of you guys, or all of you guys, campaigned against President Boakai. Not only because you hated him or I hated him. We did that because we wanted to save the nation. President Boakai is on it, showing you what he can do the best and what he knows. He got nothing else to show. Well, you saw the trend of his leadership, his skill of management. How can a man who will work for 40 years in government and who have no appetite for education, further education at all, self-improvement at all, from the 80s all the way to present. President Boakai was living at that little rehab area. He's just comfortable. His wife was doing ice block, selling ice block. Somebody who served for 40-something years, 12 years in presidency. In fact, Ellen had to pardon him because the place he lives is right on the road. Even Georgia have to give him a chance, a pass. Every government that comes, they want to develop that particular road, they got to give him a pass. He got no time for self-improvement, nothing at the time. Nothing. No no record of improving any Liberian's life, not himself. And then you gave the man the nation at the age of 83 years old to do what? To carry you where?
84. 84. 84.
84.
Point of correction.
No,
To carry you
no.
where?
79.
Well, whatever it is, whether
He
it's 70
reduced
or
the age.
80 or not.
Joseph Boakai looking at 79 years. Stop, man, doctor.
You know, it's saddening.
Did
Then you
he
talk
just
about
they're going birthday? I'm
yes,
sorry for that.
He turned
yeah,
84.
right.
The party reducing his age like woman.
I know, right? So you see, then you talk about rule of law. Then you look at when President Boakai was minister, FPMC director, and all of that. Where were the rule of law at that time, during those days? You think President Boakai knew anything about rule of law? President Boakai is a warmonger. If you look at the Sona, he said in the Sona that he's going to give his, and again, I respect my people from the Southeastern. I live there. And no disrespect to you guys, right? And I think that's one of the things I agree on in the Sona, to give the former president, though, a befitting burial. So what happened to Prince Johnston and what is happening, it shouldn't be strange. President Boakai, the only thing he used to is to get it. Anyhow he wants to get it, he must get it. He wants the speakership, whether the horse, it will boom. It will fly from Liberia to another country. It will lead there. He doesn't care. If people were protesting at the Capitol building and President Boakai was going to go and send a vote of condolence of a former VP, sorry, I don't know his name right now, but the former VP that requested money to go to hospital, and he refused to give the man money to go and kill himself. The man passed away. He sent police and riot police to beat on civilians, beat them up, and clear the way for him to go and walk majestically to go and sign vote of condolence. Then you asking me, you telling me about rule of law. Listen, y'all threw that whole rule of law business out. We should just pray for the country, because President Boakai ain't got nothing new to show us or to give us. We're just going to have to go through the whole 6 years again, because I know Liberians can't fight for themselves. When you thought it was, but why you can't come down here and talk to? Why you can't come down and protest? So we will only talk and hope for the best. And last thing, he talked about reconciliation during his Sona. I will propose, the president said he will propose for us to be reconciled in Liberia. He didn't say it started. He didn't say, in fact, we are talking about it. He said we propose, even though propose is talking about it, whatever it is. But the president is not really serious about reconciliation, because it will not help him. Because when everybody reconciles, President Boakai will not do much. He won't do much. He loved that defensive leadership. I'm from Lofa County. And lastly, who all on here remember the 2010 riot that happened in Lofa? When Ellie sent President Boakai, he said, go to your hometown and solve the problem. How could I get killed? I was in high school. I was attending the students' high school. When our brothers, our uncles and nephews and everybody, when we start going against each other, just because of something that could be settled in a civilized way, but we refused. People started fighting. People started dying. The same President Boakai. President Boakai came and said, to hell with y'all. He went and fueled the situation. And he had to come and settle that problem. So President Boakai ain't got nothing in him that settle issues. So I hear people talking about, oh, he could solve the problem with one pen or what or he could solve the problem by calling this person. I said, well, President Boakai will not solve no problem because he ain't got it in him. CPP break. Everything breaks. And lastly, anything it touches, it destroys, according to Gongloe. And we are saying it. Thank you very much.
All right, Tomalin's back. So Tomalin will lead us to the next topic.
But there's the rule of law, how to call them, the rule of law caucus. They issue a long statement, but I will not read all. We just got to look at it small. And what happened to Yeke today? They issue a statement. They condemn the unprecedented violence assault on Yeke Koluba, and they said that okay, what they said something about what they're going to do forward. They said that Okay, they say in response, we commit to the following actions. We will exhaust all legal avenues to ensure that those responsible for orchestrating and executing this assault, be the members of the House or external actors, are held accountable. The full force of the law must be applied to prevent recurrence of such violence within our legislative processes. We implement measures to protect the sanity of the House of Representatives, ensuring that every lawmaker can perform their duties without intimidation. We call on the Liberian civil society and the issue of strong statement issue, they condemn it, and they said that they're gonna protect each other. But Yeke told me this afternoon, he said, as I spoke to him before, he said, well, he's going back on Thursday, and he's gonna do the same thing. But this time he said, if anybody attack him when they get outside, he will respond to that person. So I know they'll have police there. I can show you that Gregory Como will send police there to barricade and protect that area. But this is where we are in our country history, where for the first time the presiding guy ordering people to put hands on a fellow lawmaker. They are all equals. I mean, they are just that he's first. When you go in the guy with the conservative first among equal, but this is where we are. And also, I think today the lawmakers, senators received their $45,000, I think, to get their cars. And why the Liberian people, hospitals, people are dying because of no beds, no everything. For me personally, it's not about politics, but about the fact that we're told that there was a change coming, and this is what was expected. But now, with all of us, what's happening, it appears that it was all just propaganda and lies and misinformation, and here we are. So the question is, Liberians should not. What your expectation? You think those who want to take over this country, to change this trajectory of the country, should wait for 2028, 2029, or they should start when they put up the nation address, responding to it, and then get into action? But the last election, I think we have how many parties we have? We have 20 parties, eh? How many parties to my last election? 20 parties?
Well, you know.
Since the election,
Tony.
We have a CDC, we have a CDC, LPP, ANC, I think, and Line. So far, the parties we have heard about, the rest of the parties, I think, are going to have a nation. I think somewhere they're going somewhere for vacation, perhaps. But folks, if we can come and talk every day, but if we're not going to take this serious. We should expect anything to happen. The country is not going to move anywhere. There's no change happening. You just saw the video this in Tanzania from the president, a very tired president, very tired, and right now, as I left earlier, there are concerns being raised within the government about that video that's going around now. They are very concerned about it. And
can we see the video? Is that possible?
Yeah, you have it there first. Let me see if they haven't taken it down.
Everybody can put it in your inbox.
Yeah, but took it down though. They took it down.
They took it down?
Oh, God, if you
Family, don't people just before we
on?
play the video, let me just say something.
From the two parties.
You see the UP folks out of their greediness, they want Waka to embarrass us. Like this time, I mean, the embarrassment we've been receiving, it has just been Liberia embarrassment. So we're able to cope. But international embarrassment, this man almost fainted. And the next day he was on private flight to where? To go discuss what is he even bringing back? This is really, really getting bad.
They're trying to fake it.
Fake what? We all know this man is not fit. He's not healthy. That's just the fact. The man almost went off. Out of your level of the people are not even professional. How come the president, you guys, You didn't put any table on the side to put his little bottle of water there. You're rushing on the stage with glass of water.
Can you imagine that?
Telling the
Yeah,
papi, say, oh, talk quick, and leave. We saw that. All of a sudden, he on private flight. Even if he's not doing nothing on that flight, to even sit on flight for 4 hours, 10 hours, it's not easy. This is sad, oh. But Dr. Peabody, you can proceed, yeah? We just talking our own.
Yeah, so that's a serious thing, and right now they're not happy with that. And you know, if you're in an organization, right, like we are right now, we are in the aftermath of the election in America. People in the Biden warehouse, they are not confessing that things were not work well with the woman, with the president at the time. He was not up to the task, but they were just hiding it from the American public apparently, and which did the country bad because see what was happening now. It's the result will happen because if they are going through a primary, a real primary, perhaps Kamala will come out stronger, or they will come out with a more stronger candidate.
Right.
And so what happened, and I don't think they did Biden and the handlers did the country well, and that's what happening. That everything is going helter skelter now, and right now it's sad because you watch the video. The president gave a 132-minute speech, 1 hour, 32-minute speech. At the end of the speech, he was like he was going off. The other guys that almost rushed to him and things said, well, end of the speech, and then he said, let's leave, let's go, drink water and leave. And then he got on a plane, and somebody said the flight from Liberia to Dar es Salaam, because it's a private jet, so that means it's a direct flight. So maybe I don't know, having tried perhaps 6 hours, who knows? And then
6 hours.
I don't know. I mean, somebody was
6
telling
to
me
7 hours. Yeah, 6 to 7 hours.
Yeah, that okay. In a direct flight. So I think what they should have done
Oh,
perhaps
wow.
let him to rest himself and prepare him for the occasion this morning, whatever the case. But it's just not a good thing. And people in the government now are concerned. And that's why they are now talking among themselves, whispers now about what they just saw today. And I don't know why they put it on the executive management website too. I don't know what they thought was.
Well, why would they be just concerned today? The old man has not been, he's an old man. I mean, why would they just be concerned today because of that video? I mean, he's not a healthy old man.
Exactly.
I mean, he's old, he's frail. The presidency, the office of the presidency is a pressure job. It's a job that comes with a lot of stress. It comes with a lot of stress. So I'd be surprised at this video. I mean, it doesn't make no sense.
Good morning, George. I will tell you this.
And before we play the video, I also saw a few pictures of him in Sierra Leone when he went there. I mean, the Sierra Leone president, he was literally holding our president just like a baby. That's a mockery to us as a nation. They're holding our president, guiding him to go and sit down. As a president, you have to stand like a man. When other presidents are moving, you need to move. Nobody come and hold you and be giving you seats and holding you like their grandfather. This is not the job that we gave you. We gave you a job that you will be able to represent us well when you go other places. I was so embarrassed when I saw the man holding our president, like, and Bwaka is not even walking properly. It was just so embarrassing to watch.
Susan, that shouldn't
This is disgraceful.
Susan, that shouldn't embarrass you because that's what majority saw. I mean, if it's sometimes it's funny and it's very, sad. A lot of Liberians, young people, were all on social media, even the men here crave will vote. We agree. So, sometimes I feel like, I sometimes I want to be sorry for Liberians, and sometimes I'm not. I want to be like, let me just try to drink water and just relax because these are the same people that almost kill people in Lofa just because of Boakai. Stone each other just because Boakai will become president. And when I was in Liberia a couple of months ago, I talked to some people from my background, from other places, they told me that they will use that man. They will, if they're gonna make them to ride in wheelbarrow and carry any kind of way to go anywhere, they will carry him. They want you to give it. So,
but that's the idea behind the thing.
Now y'all talking about, oh, they're putting him on their plea, they bringing it down. Look, you think they're praying not I mean, oh?
They know they're keeping that man there because
you
of the
think the speech writer or the people that are around that man, they don't know that he old?
So
those people are doing it, you know, they're doing it for a reason.
Yep.
For me, my belief, I don't wish people death. I don't wish people bad things. But trust me, we are not dumb. You can see the trend, how they're using the old man.
Yeah.
They keep overusing him. They just want that man to collapse. And then just boom, the man goes. So that's why you see the VP is consolidating power.
Yep.
That's why you see anybody go against the VP or go against the government, they fire them ASAP.
Yep.
You don't want anybody to get that win. Who are you to come on the stage where the president, the VP, and say, oh, Prince Johnson died from stress? Who are you?
Who are you? So, apparently, they're keeping the VP as the president in waiting.
That's my point. That is my point. I'm telling you from inside. When I was there, people told me. That's why you see the VP is doing everything in his way. And that's why you see all United Party people, the members, because they are saying now that the VP Kun has grown wing so strong within the party because the man can be VP then after the president go there and want to go do for primary. No, the man got more money. So everybody now is building around VP. So VP is like a giant. So whatever he wants, he get it. So
even at the end of the 6 years, if Barker decides to run again, then what they will do? Because
trust me. That's why when I heard
decides to what? Run where?
They said they could keep him around and he decided to run.
Listen, that's man. Y'all stop
that's just more talk. Y'all don't listen to that more talk. Why will Barker be running? Second time he's almost falling off. That's just more talk. He's not going nowhere.
Have you ever heard the president say that he's not running?
They were not.
Let me just throw something in the conversation. You know, one of the things that we usually forget is that there are a couple of categories of people who are working in government that will suggest why they are pushing the President Boyka to stay in power when they know that he doesn't have the energy nor the strength to be. There's a certain group of people in our country who don't know any other job other than public job. They cannot work anywhere else other than public job. You know, that's what they used to. Yep. And they will manipulate their way anyhow just to stay in a public job. If it means to say, switching from one political party to another political party, bad muffing one person, then turn around and bad muff the other person that were bad muffing before. They would do anything just to get that position. Yep. So, I don't have to call names on this responsible platform for you to know some of the people I'm talking about. Just go on.
Don't call their name. We know them.
They will say, the worst thing about Suzanne, when Suzanne doesn't have the capacity to give them job no more, and they see Sarah coming in power, they go and say, the worst thing against Suzanne, and I say the good thing about Sarah. It's just like that.
That politics for you. People.
That's it right there.
And then there's a second group that I know of, like those who if they leave Liberia, they're not living in Liberia. They are not really based in Liberia. But when they leave Liberia, they come outside. They cannot get the kind of high-profile job that they get when they go back home for political reasons. You know, so for instance, the person leave from Liberia and come here, they're not going to get any kind of high-profile managerial job. They're not going to get any kind of high-profile administrative job. They're going to probably go back to warehousing, go back to home health care, that kind of stuff. So because that's the only terrain that gives them the advantage that they have to hold high-profile job. So if they have President Boyka, let somebody say in wheelbarrow, they will carry him to work in wheelbarrow. If they cause him to hang drip on him, he get a sauna, they will hang the drip on him where the drip is. He taking the drip, he gotta be reading the sauna. And if he missing the words, they will put the words in your mouth. We saw in the video from Tanzania. What again? The paper. The old man is so tired. He can barely see what's on the paper. He can barely read. He has to read. And then the last group, there are some people in there who have passed that productive age.
Yeah.
They passed the productive age.
Look at that old man. They say he one of the advisors. They were holding his hand going to
foreign.
That's His Excellency Ambassador George W. Wallace.
Yeah, he's the foreign. I think working advisor or something like that.
Foreign relations advisor.
Yeah, foreign relationship.
I'm a career diplomat, former deputy foreign minister, former ambassador.
No, we're not saying he's not career.
No, I know it, but me, yeah.
But look at his age. Is he up there to give me advice?
I'm not a bad man.
He looks older than Bwaka, though.
Yeah,
he's 85.
He's
85.
The crowd.
But I can say this for a fact, Dr. Peabody. If I'm in Liberia today and I'm working with President Boyka and I see that he's incapable to serve the country and I know that he's going to take the country backwards, I will tell him straight up. And if he doesn't agree with me, I will pack my bag and come back and go work outside of the country.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to go back into the private sector when I was there before. I go back and I do something else. You know? But there are people who they cannot function outside of government.
No, they can't.
They just can't.
Did you guys talk
sorry, y'all said that old man are what advisor? The old man is what advisor?
Foreign relations.
What advisor again?
Advisor on foreign
so
relations.
Did you guys talk based on about
the corruption? Advisor.
Well, have you seen the ambassador to
Can we play the video so we can see the video?
I don't know, the kids took it
down. The video to the sauna?
The kids took it down.
No, there was a video Dr. Peabody saying he was going to play ultimately, I think.
I think it was the video where they put the two Yeke out of the house.
No, the one with the president in Tanzania.
Yeah, you're not talking about the fact that Joseph Boakai paying the bank governors money and to resign just because he wanted to.
Tomalin brought up.
Yeah, but as I said last week, it's over. Governor Talu sued the government for because they're all 10-year people, and I think so they remove him and he sued them, and so because the president's nephew, Henry Samoa, now he been there for 1 year acting. You cannot continue to act for more than a year now, so they got to go a confirmation hearing. In order to do it, you have to settle that case. So they went to arbitration, I think, and then they asked for, I think he asked for $1 million. He came to 500,000 because he owed the bank. He took the money from there and he carried 370,000 home.
Wow.
Now the question is, why couldn't allow the man to finish his term? Now you just pay him that money. The guy you come in made governor, he get a new term too. You pay him all that money too. And then but so far
that's why the country not going anywhere.
Two deputy governors.
One of the
deputy governor resigned too, and then it's governor too now. So you left with a new tenor of people paying them new money. Even with the LTA too, and the other areas too, you are the tenor of people, you're getting rid of them, paying them off now, and starting new.
And for who? And for who? For what quality of leadership that you're making that sacrifice?
That's my point.
For what quality of leadership are you making that sacrifice?
It's a dumb sacrifice. It's bad. That's not even a sacrifice. That's a waste.
Waste. That is a waste. That is a waste.
It's a waste of public fund money.
That's like we find ourselves in, my people, and that's why it's important. I mean, everybody have their own time for one of the Liberians in 2025 now. Everybody telling you, say, well, waiting. No, right now, I made it clear. I want people to win the team next election. And we'll do everything. I don't care. Once that team will win, that's where I'm going to go. Because we got to make sure Liberia is different. We got to change that country. It's not easy. It's getting tough. The country is, anything happen now, the country is, we know what the country will be in. So we got to make sure we pray for that country.
Well, I just retrospect, and I can't phantom my head around this. Wasn't this same Boakai were campaigning heavily and accusing all of those guys for corruption, that he's going to come and rescue Liberians? Make sure their money is, used in the right way. Make sure that public funds that were stolen by people will be, they will go after them. Is this the same Boakai that carry on audit report on the CBL? Are you killing me? And Liberians are not Liberians are not angry and they're just sitting there and watching. $300 and some more $1,000 Liberian money that could go to Grand Crew, to the hospital for people to be well taken care of. And they're giving that just because his nephew wants to, remain as a governor for a bank. So the nephew is important than Liberians' health, their well-being. And I see these guys coming on under the comment section and insulting people that are even trying, leaving their business schedule to come and talk to them about the reality. He talk about drugs. The kush. Jawia was selling drugs. The people were doing this. Drugs were everywhere. The Liberian people agree. Come now and save us. So the rescue job, because Boakai were talking about just to become president, the drugs now is everywhere. Nobody is talking about it. And the president went and stood over there with tell bold-faced lies about rule of law, reconciliation, when you are settling people in the dark. That taking you to court just because you want to certify your boys. Liberia is doomed for failure. I am so sorry to say this, but if we are not mindful, we are next in line to Haiti. Because there will be a time these underprivileged people we call Zogos, these guys they themselves, because they're getting so much, there are so many in the country, they could even form themselves together and say, you know what, we are sick and tired. You talk about police that can't even police, what the police you have? You talk about joint security? They themselves will join these boys and they will come after you. We are heading to we're on a bad path if we're not mindful. And President Boakai, I'm sorry, he's not going to do much. And that's the unfortunate part about it. He's not going to do much.
And the sad thing is, all of these religious leaders that used to talk, all of these religious leaders that used to say all the things that were happening in the community, in the country, they are all mute. Because most of them are on board committees. They are getting 5,000 for setting fee, 8,000, that. So they are all mute. They're all mute.
We miss leaders. Look, back in the days when, imagine these leaders that were around, they stood the test of time. People like Bishop Kula, he's still alive, but he's old now. Bishop Francis,
Michael Francis, yeah.
George Brown, Bishop Brown. These people, the Liberian Council of Churches and the Interfaith Mediation Committee, with Kafumba Kono, these people were brave people. And mind you, are dealing with a military guy at the time. So the guy who had guns, who there was no constitution or decree, they could face it. I remember one time, President Doe had a press conference. Bishop Kula, he preached on Decree 88A. So President Doe said, the next time that guy talk about Decree 88A, I will go to the church, my writing, I will beat from behind it. I'll say, Holy Spirit, catch me. And these I can't see the guys went through. These guys were tough, but even our student population, Liberia National Student Union, Linsu, the guys in South Africa today, Ezekiel Pajibo, we come in and we said these people were people who stood to power, you know. But nowadays, our students, 1 year student talking about protesting, Amanda, I don't take it serious because, you know, most of these students, their mentors are in the government. They are all former people, former sub leaders. They are all in the government. So if I'm an official of government, take for example, my own friend Kofi Woods, he's a former sub leader, or Garguah, all of them. As soon as I try to make it more small, I said, "Oh, y'all come here." They take them, and next thing they get to the Boulevard Palace for a sumptuous dinner. They come there. From there, they all set. So then they come out. The Amanda finish. we gotta say, oh, the one I knew the children, they can be playing joke when Boca was about to go and launch the PhD program to LU. They said he's not welcome yet. He's not going to come there. We're not going to accept him yet. They made a big press conference. In the morning, they said we're going to stand to barricade and make sure that Buckeye security will either attack us, but he's not going to enter. When the first guy came, wow, my Lord, they just did small thing. All of them just scattered. I said, look at that. But back in the days, people stood up to power. The guys were brave. Look, and then one of the guy, the guy with the Enfield box down, Torgbean, these are great guys. They freed them from Pampera Yara. When I asked them, they said, "How you feel?" They said, "We feel more committed to fight for democracy in this country." They don't say, "Oh, we thank the president." No, but nowadays the guys are. I mean, as soon as you talk small, Amanda. You know, Amanda. That thing like look, and they just taking it Amanda out of context now. You do it when you say Amanda, you must stand for Amanda. Don't say Amanda. Then you. The problem I got with them, Amanda, stand for it. You know, the other guy, the one where they say he take orders from the guy in South Africa, Malima, what they call Garguah. Now he work at the Freeport now. He get some job now. He say I paid a visit to the housing authority where one of my appointees is a son, and the director. I want to talk to the director, and she acted rude to me. He called the president to make sure that the woman is changed. Yeah, because I mean, what's happening? This guy made a lot of noise, but now they gained some job. Now he's gone quiet now. But
the other time he was on Spoon complaining that but he didn't state exactly what they're gonna do, but they are not happy. That's why he said they are not happy.
You see, Tomalin George, I will say this: when you see the children, the young people who went on the street that day to go and protest, they escaping to leave Buakai's security alone. First of all, Buakai ain't got no legacy. He don't care for legacy. Buakai already know you old. If you die for that kind of man, going against. Sometimes I don't really blame you guys, but if Buakai kill you because you go and protest, who lost? Buakai he got nothing to lose, and it's so frustrating. Sometimes when I sit down, when I'm driving in my car, going to school or maybe going to work, I just think and I wonder what thing informed us as Liberians to continue going back to the old people. You're doing it, you know, Kumi said it, doing the same thing and expecting different results. It's like you're a coward. That's being stupid. If you try this, it didn't work, try something else. What's going on?
This panel, but certainly not the least.
All right.
Yeah, well, I kept you for to do.
Are we there?
Tomalin, are you ready?
Yeah, ready. Yeah, thank you, Lofa.
All right, cool.
And y'all need to stop talking about my uncle like that. I don't tell.
Call me off like that. What kind of man so?
Yeah, you talking about my uncle like that. Answer this.
Nyenwolo Bokai, Senior President of the Republic of Liberia. We've talked about numbers in terms of access, and for Liberia, it is 32% of the population that has access to electricity. Again, the vast majority of them being in the capital city of Monrovia, and very little in the rural areas. And with regards to clean cooking, we're talking about 1%. But your
guys, is the audio good?
Yeah. I think we can manage this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Government does have huge ambitions of reversing that. What are the major pillars of your national compact? And what innovative financing and investment models are you looking at to reverse this trend and put your country on a forward trajectory? Your Excellency, over to you.
Let me thank my sister, the president.
Please stop.
I'm sorry, what was that? Oh, you were talking to him? Okay.
Yeah, we're talking to the Papa. Let him talk.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what, Tomalin, if you don't mind, I don't want to take over your show, but when you guys were playing this video earlier, I was listening in the back, right? I want you guys to pay close attention to the fact that the question posed to President Boakai was never answered.
Nope.
The question was specific. All right.
Yep.
And I'll play that part. I will play that part again. So
Yeah,
people
please. Yeah,
think-
play that part only. Yeah.
and so people can gather and this part is very important. If you ready?
This panel, but certainly not the least, His Excellency Mr. Joseph Nyenwolo Boakai, Senior President of the Republic of Liberia. We've talked about numbers in terms of access, and for Liberia, it is 32% of the population that has access to electricity. Again, the vast majority of them being in the capital city of Monrovia, and very little in the rural areas.
32% of the population in Monrovia with electricity, and that is where vast majority of the beneficiaries are.
And with regards to clean cooking, we're talking about 1%. But your government does have huge ambitions of reversing that. What are the major pillars of your national compact? And what innovative financing and investment models are you looking at to reverse this trend and put your country on a forward trajectory?
Innovative financing and investment model your country and your government is looking at. That's the part I wanted to highlight.
Lofa, what was it?
What the country for?
Let me thank
Well, let's listen to him.
my sister, the president, Dr. Smith, to her son,
Okay, a handshake
for
you.
inviting us to come here. I think it's also an opportunity because the last time I was over here was about 30 years ago. And I don't see any other thing that would have brought me here easily. I want to thank you for this opportunity. And I want to also quickly thank you for what I saw here today. You're rewarding innovation, people who are doing small things. It's not just encouraging them, it's also making the younger ones aware that energy is important. We are honored to be here today, and we want to thank you for all that you've done to make us comfortable.
Lord help us all.
Achieving universal energy access is essential. It drives prosperity, inclusion, sustainable livable condition. We in Liberia, and I want to thank my friend and brother, Edison, for also working with partners like the World Bank, the Rockefeller Foundation, and also all of those who are contributing to helping us bring solution to our energy problem. I think also it's also a good management in terms of the African Development Bank taking that board to make itself available to be able to work with partners. We are excited to be here today, to be among those that have been considered to listen to our energy problems and be able to contribute. We are doing a lot. In fact, we are very blessed in terms of availability of means by which we can improve our energy problem. The country is well watered. Liberia has one of the highest rainfall in the region. And we think that hydropower is, and I will think that the Senate knows about it more than myself because he was the first who was suggesting this morning for how many megawatts we can get from our St. Paul River. And under the arrest agenda,
Lofa, okay with the
Our is very critical.
Oh, okay.
We believe that.
All right.
Lofa, you say you were talking to your uncle, you kid to save your uncle, but then when you save the bell, did that destroy your uncle, your general Lofa?
like honestly, guys, it's just embarrassing for us because, but I'll tell you,
it's embarrassing. I mean, I don't know how the rescue mission really. I don't know.
We appear unprepared for that question. But the Lofa said, you listen to him, he didn't answer the question.
He didn't even go close to it.
According what the guy was asking, I think it was based on his agenda, the rest agenda that he just launched. About that, he said you have big ambition, okay?
Right.
So tell us the pillars that you, the pillars that you, of the agenda that you're gonna.
And how you gonna get the money?
Yeah, but he didn't answer the question, and then because what it did to him, they gave him a fix. Apparently, they said okay, they gave him a prepared stuff, a pointers to go by. So if what he should have done with that question, perhaps put the paper aside, say about the question, not what they say on the paper, and answer the question. You know, but again, he should have sent some. He had the guys from the LEC with him too, or his vice president. Somebody were going to do that because he was tired, and then again, we're not up to it for that question. But
Tomalin, let me get, if you don't mind, let me get.
Go ahead.
You know, the embarrassing part about that entire video is when the president was interrupted at the very end of the video, where the lady had to interrupt him and she said, "Unfortunately, Mr. President, we are out of time." And I mean, him being humorous, him being humorous, and he was able to use that opportunity to say, this is part of, this is the result of being the last, or this is the downside of being the last person. But in all of that, the opportunity presented to him to state his innovative financial approach to address the issue of electricity was never done. And this is what a lot of time when I come on here, I speak of innovation, thoughtfulness, being aware of what you sincerely want to do. If you come to that office without that innovative approach or the slightest idea as to what you want to do, these are the kind of situations you will be faced with, because you will not be prepared. You will not always be given the opportunity to prep yourself for questions. Not every media institution you engage will prep you up with questions that you will prep yourself up in order to respond to. And this is one of the situations where the president, obviously, he wasn't really prepared. So he read off pieces of paper. And in this modern dispensation, you still handing the president papers to read.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine
that? A tablet or just a mobile phone and scroll through it so that he could address it a little bit more appropriately than having to read off a paper. And then he took the paper at the end and slid it in an envelope, in a banner envelope, that kind of thing. Look, and this... Anyway, guys, I'm sorry I'm not on the show, but it's embarrassing.
Lofa,
country
I want to add something to what you just said, right? I want to add to what you just said, Lofa.
Mm-hmm.
The thing here is, once you know what you're doing, you answer whatever questions that come on your way. You answer it abruptly without anything. If Joseph Boakai knew about his country and knew about what's happening around him, he would have answered this question. There is no need to be innovative in any way, because if I'm sitting here on closing argument, I know the type of discussion we're going to be having here because of my experience. I know the type of discussion. I know how things are on closing argument. So definitely I will prepare myself for it. I don't need piece of paper to come here and speak.
No, Susan.
The question that was put out here. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead, Lofa. Yeah.
What I'm saying,
the question here is very easy. It is an easy question to answer. Looking at a piece of paper to explain what is he talking here? He's embarrassing himself more. Nothing he said here came close to that question. So I understand your point, but I think this video shows the lack of what's happening around Joseph Boakai. He doesn't even know what's going on. Because if he knew, he would have just answered this question without any Like, without complicating himself this much.
So the people he's dealing with over there are actually again from the government background, the government sector. In order to approach certain things, it's not set in stone. Like we come on a closing argument and discuss topics based on, emotions and stuff. But when one speak of innovation, you must think outside the box when it comes to budgeting. How are you actually crafting your budget so that you can allocate funds to energy, or how are you soliciting assistance in order to address that? And that is not something that you can just say that. It must be thought of thoroughly, and you must be innovative in the process. And that is why I think the guy posing the question was very careful about and said, what is the innovation or the innovative financing mechanism, in my own words, that I'm actually trying to just shine here, you intend to use to make this happen? What are you doing? What is your approach? And unfortunately, I don't think there was anything stated in the note that was given him to address that part of it. And that's why I'm saying
I agree. I agree what you're saying, Lofa. I agree to what you're saying. But
for somebody with that experience in government,
can I come in for 1 second? Lofa Julius, I think you made a great point.
Just imagine if this was President William. Yeah.
Let President we out of this. That President Boyka here now. But let me say this, all right? let me say this. The question that was placed to President Boyka was not out of his scope of understanding.
Thank you. That was
coming from the
yes. That's what I'm trying to say. Thank you, my brother.
Because technically, the question is in twofold. What is the innovative approach that you are taking to solve the energy problem? So first of all, President Boyka already told us that in the annual message, he said they are going to be improving on our current hydro system, and they're going to go solar. And he talked about the solar plant that they're trying to build and where they're building and the capacity of that solar plant, solar project. So that's what he just said. I know we don't have any wind energy that we're trying to be to harvest right now. So I know he's going hydro and he's going solar. So he just said that those are the innovative means of that he's trying to undertake. And then when it comes to the funding, President Boyka already told us in the annual message. Now you could either do a public investment model, or you can do what they call the public-private partnership funding. And President Boyka had told us in his annual message that the arrest agenda of about $700 billion is $8 billion. I think was it $8 billion? Yeah, $8 billion is going to 60% of that money is going to come from partly government, which is public funding, and partly partners, which is and then he said the remaining 40% will come from partnership and investment partnership. So you already had the answers to that question. I think what we saw happening there is the age factor.
Right, that's right.
It's the age factor. His brain is not moving at the wavelength that is required at that level of articulation. You can't blame the old man. The old man come from the old man will take medication that morning. So he eat a coffee, he eat a breakfast, he rests.
Go to bed.
Yeah, he collect his mindset, and then you ask him, he take 2 hours to think, and then he respond. But you put the man on a platform, and you ask him questions. The first thing the mind goes to, or an adult mind goes to, is, do I have anything to spar from? And
so, Mr.
Spar from what the note that they gave him. So he just read what is on the note. The people playing smart, he was faking it until he got it. He didn't have the time.
So, Mr. Pearson, I think
he got it, but he didn't have the time.
Before
I close, Julius, somebody mentioned something. That's why technology is very important. Because if the president had maybe a pass or something in his hand, someone could have just messaged him.
Yeah.
Message him to put him on point. And that's why you hear public speakers saying, and then we looking for what they want to get to. And then they get the point. So, but I mean, but he's anyway. He said it during the coming.
But had amnesia moment.
Doesn't do technology, so that leave it.
So, I mean, in my response, and this probably will be my final statement for the night, but I'm just trying to say that preparation, adequate preparation, gets you to the finish line and probably across the finish line. Unfortunately, I don't think President Boycott was well prepped for this engagement. And if he was, I think those who escorted him to engage the audience or this particular conference, I don't think they did him justice. While it is truth that in his arrest agenda, it is claimed to be stated in there, but again, the written documentation is just the theoretical aspect of it. Now, having the practical understanding is something that President Boycott would not come to the presidency with, and that's the reason why he have people who are member of his cabinet. This is where they should have had him, sit with them, keep him abreast of these critical issues and how they intend to address it based on the financial issue or some of the circumstantial incidents that occurred, like power theft and all of those things in Liberia. He would have been well inclined when it came to the answering of that question. But again, we both are on the same side. I think President Boycott in this case again gave us the wild. But I'll continue to defend my uncle. I mean, he looked really sharp in that suit. A lot of you young guys are not looking good in that suit.
guys, we got 60 more minutes, so let us do our closing, our closing comments.
Your uncle looking sharp in the suit, but bring what
Let's do our closing comments in 60 minutes.
Not close, so I can because I have to run.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I know I want to close on this note. I know we talk a lot of hard stuff here tonight. I want to close on this note where maybe just for us to come a light landing. I'm wondering what President Boycott understood when they said clean cooking. When I got asked about clean cooking, what ran through a mind from Lofa County and from Foya. Is it cooking without the fire trunk and other kind of thing? No, I'm not sure if the president understood what clean cooking is. And I can assure you, some ministers don't even know what clean cooking is. Guys, have a nice evening. It was a pleasure being on the show. Let's look up clean cooking, please, for President Boycott.
I'm gonna be looking up right now. Let me see clean cooking. Maybe Abu can tell what clean cooking is. Clean cooking.
Are we giving our closing?
Yeah, Abu just came up. Abu, can you tell
all
us
right.
what cooking is?
So I will just close before Abu come in because I know he coming to all kinds of tab here. I mean, let me tell you something. Like somebody said on Facebook, I don't know. They say you can lie your way to power, and that's just the common example here. That even as Lofa just said that he I think preparation could have helped, but I don't think this is the regular Liberian side of things where they have to prepare questions for Boycott and let him come and answer it the way he wants to answer it. I don't think he even knew the type of question that he was going to expect. That's the reason why he embarrassed himself that much. Like our doctor that was just on here said, Dr. Pearson, what happened to Boycott? It came from age factor. The old man is old. And the UP folks, they need to accept that. The fact that after giving 1 hour and 30 minutes speech, you put him on 7 hours of flight to go say what exactly? He was not forced to go there. The embarrassment that he caused us over there, they would have just avoided and not even carry him there because he did not answer that question. And it's beyond embarrassing. We spoke about it. Faking it to make it, it will not carry them anywhere. First of all, he kept saying thank you to this guy. What are you thanking the man for? When he says something, thank you. What are you thanking the man for? They asked a question, you needed to answer it. And this is a complete embarrassment to us. So thank you, and I look forward to coming here more. I will sit and listen to Abu in as much as I don't want to listen to Abu. I will sit and listen
You're
to
supposed
him.
to listen to
But
him,
thank
but
you.
how come you drop off just now?
No,
Because
I
I
will
don't want to
listen to
listen to his
him.
lies. So
Yes.
let me get the meaning of clean cooking. Maybe Abu got different definition. Clean cooking, according to Google, it says when we talk about clean cooking, we refer to people using cleaner fuels and energy efficient modern stoves. We don't have a lot of that in Liberia. That right there. So let me just address give my own comment on the video which I've seen. I think you guys played for the second time, and just like everybody else said, the old man had a old folks moment. You know, he froze, his brain froze at the moment. He didn't know at the time, you know, his hands all shaking, amnesia kicking in, you know. The old man is tired. Y'all stop pushing this man before y'all kill him. I want him. Abu and the UP people, y'all stop. Stop misusing our president. He's old, he's frail, he needs to rest. Stop fake impression. Oh, he coming from the sauna and straight he gonna get on the plane. He needed to rest. He needed to rest. Just stop making that thing look that this man is talking about a 20-year-old male to say he's old. He needs time to rest. Okay? And that's the kind of disgrace you brought upon all by sending him over there to sit over there to read something that was completely different from the question that was being asked to him. Completely different. You're to all kinds of things, majority, da. You're the both people now, you're in power, and you're bringing so much disgrace to our country. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous. And we will say it. Liberia belongs to all of us. It doesn't only belong to UP people, it belongs to every last one of us. And if that president brings disgrace to our country, we have a right to speak up, and we will. Y'all like it, you can say whatever you want to say, that's up to y'all. It was a disgrace. It was a disgrace. And those of them that are handling this president like this should be ashamed of themselves, because we expect them to know better. They told us they knew better. They were in opposition for 6 years. They knew what to do, and they got there. Look at what they gave in our country. Nothing but disgrace. Lying on sauna, speeches, until your own rescue rumble have to come to correct your own so many of those things that you wrote in the sauna. Bunch of lies. How they all meant to stand for hours to read lies to the Liberian people. Lies. Okay? And then don't interrupt me, man. You come here late on the Sunday, you want to talk about minutes. And then getting on a flight to go without even resting, to go to a conference like that and go talk nothing but rubbish with hands all shaking. What your problem? Y'all want something to happen to that man so you can put Jeremiah as president so quick? Let Jeremiah wait for his time. If God said he will be president, he will be president. Y'all stop misusing our president. Okay? I'm speaking from the human side here as a Liberian. He's being misused. He's being misused, and it's bringing disgrace to our country. Give him some time to rest. Let his brain come together. He's not that old. I mean, he's not that young. He's an old man. Okay? And you need to feed him with nothing but the truth. Because when you lie to the Liberian people, they know right away, they know right off the back the lies that you have put together. Nobody need any rocket scientist here. Your own rescue rumble, he dissected the whole sauna. Okay? So I will stop here for now. Thank you.
Sheriff.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know who sent him there. I don't know if nobody was in the government who, were capable of going to represent Liberia. Let's put joke aside and politics aside. He's our president. We need to protect him. I know some people praying that he should pass on so they can become president. We are praying that he should remain and serve the Liberian people, the people who voted for him for 6
And rescue the country.
and rescue. We want him to do the job. We don't want him overused to the point where we hear one day it will not be a good thing. I don't want that. The president had a sunnah. He needed to rest. He needed ample sleep. Time to sleep. Who sent him there? You know, the country, I don't know where it's going. We are heading somewhere that we don't know. The president went there. They asked the president, what is your plan? Your elevator, whatever, model or financing. Apparently, they had the answer on the sheet, but maybe it was on the other or it was in the back. And the president had no time to flip the sheet over and see it. Because why? He was tired. He was exhausted. And it's not fair to our president. It's not. Nobody should be doing that. And I'm very sure UP people, most of the people, the ministers within this government, they saw that video and they are outraged. Who managing the president? It is important for Liberia to get electricity, but our president stability, the president health is important as well. We have ministers of finance and development and planning. We got people responsible for that. They could have gone there.
But basically, agree that ain't
nothing going to happen. Our president health is important. How can you jeopardize the president health? And I'll go back to my statement earlier. I said people in this government who wants to just use this president any kind of way. They don't care because when something happened to him, they will benefit. They will benefit. Look at the guy, Pusher. Look at the lady that asked, the guy that asked the question and the lady. Look at how their body language. Look at them while sitting, listening to our president. Look at their faces. And they even told the president, your time is over. The president could not come and defend himself. If that's a smart president, they said that's why, like our brother Joe, Lofa said, that's what happens when you don't have enough time. You maneuver right away. That comes with experience. That comes with experience. How to maneuver your way from disgrace. Because that's alone. Your time is over and you shut off. It's a disgrace. That means you didn't know what you were doing. And it is sad for our country and for love. I love President Boga. He's my uncle. I was born in Foya. So I am calling on all United Party people. Please, my uncle's health is important. Please save my
Your
uncle.
uncle is greedy, so high in health.
My uncle's health is important.
Your
Do
uncle
everything you can
on a
do
card.
to protect my uncle from these kind of things. My uncle tired that he sleep. We'll talk about the 30-seater jet plane or private plane he told to go there. We'll talk about later. But my uncle needed enough time to sleep, my people. Thank you very much, Peabody.
Your uncle thinks that he got stranded George Weah. When George Weah been talking, he got on the flight. He didn't even know he old. Even the flight he laying down on, the pin will touch him.
Let me. We got about 7-8 minutes to go. I will give Abu the next 3 minutes, and then I'll close out.
3 minutes. That's what we Peabody.
All right, you want to stay on after the show go? Oh, you want to stay on talking? That's fine with me.
Why you say your phone somebody gave you 3 minutes?
No, I gave you 3 minutes to talk. We gotta close. We gotta go. You came in late.
Yeah, I came in late. Just came home. Thank you, Dr. Peabody, for the show. It's a pleasure being here as always. As you may be aware, the president of Liberia, in accordance with the Constitution, Article 58, did address the country through the legislature, and his speech was inspiring. He outlined some of the gains made and some of the challenges he was, as a government, we were confronted with during a year-on review. So when that happened, the following day, as serious as he is, a serious president, a man who is very conspicuous about the progress of our country. They honor an invitation where you had a minister of finance and school of officials of government in that's alarm. So the president had no authority to go to that state function as he has been doing. So I sit and listen to people quietly. They say that the president is tired. This same president was just being classified by folks from the other side. That he wouldn't have lived up to the date. And may so rest in peace. And one of my friends, I used to be in the CDC, Christmas, he did say that the president I'm going to live up to 2023. But again, there are people when you have a serious platform, also responsibility is to sensitize the people about happiness in respect of the side you find yourself in the order of the day. Your essence or your core value should be about stating nothing less than 5. All of what I'm listening to from panelists, I think it is sentiment as always. Nothing was said. Before the commenters, the followers, and all of those who are viewing or via media to see that the president is tired of the president needs to rest. You guys, I think you're being disingenuous to yourselves and not to the people who elected this president to serve. They did not elect him to be sitting at his house like other unserious president were here. So the president is in Tanzania carrying on his function as a president, making the case for the country. Electricity being one of our sectors that is very challenged. This president is there making the case. So to have him, representing the country, it is something that all of us must not only commend for, but we should continue the monitoring in short steps. So, like I said, I'm sorry for coming late because I just came home. I had a couple of meetings, so I just came home. But Peabody, President being very affirmative in his sooner. Unfortunately, yesterday, or the devil yesterday, they came out of the room because I had a meeting to attend to. So many things were said in our speech. I think it is important as a platform to discuss it. And that is to say, you can bring your folks from the opposition community. They can't discuss it because some of the things were said, the progress that we made, given what we inherited from an incompetent government who desecrated almost all the sector in our country, must not be the one having more voice to talk. Like you have Susan, you have Cyril, I think one Ali Sharif or Ali Abu Sharif. So the fact that this president Alan or the president is conspicuous about returning abroad to mercy, should not have folks who are who have not only joke about who contributed to the violence of this country coming on this show to appear as their moral voices. They lack the moral to discuss governance. So we are discussing governance. They can be folks from the CDC. The Unity Party comprised of
moral voice.
Listen, Adam, you are saying something. I didn't interrupt you. The Unity Party is a political party that comprises of top-notch academicians and bureaucrats. That is a fact. You cannot dispute that. The UPN and CDC are no match. So if you can't talk about somebody allowing the president to be used, this president is very sophisticated. He cannot allow himself to be used. And one thing I envy him for is that as long as I am in my early 30s, I'm using glasses to see. But
no,
this president,
you're talking like that.
the president glasses. You must be a blessed person to be in that
so inexperienced.
Abu, I want to ask you a question before you close, please.
So you actually think this is about not wearing glasses?
I will finish. I got somebody in line who I want to give like one of my 3 minutes for close. So that I will finish.
No, let me ask a question.
Why are you paying people? Why are you paying people to withdraw their cases that you accuse of corruption?
The thing about it is, as a country, it's being headed by a serial figure, that is President Bouakai. He doesn't believe in speculations. If we have substantial fight to validate what you just said, that I think it's fair to say that you should display your evidence. But that I can answer your question. Other than
Go
that, I
ahead,
don't.
close. Okay, close.
Yeah, so like I was saying that people we are not only in no here to change the narratives, but we are here to inspire the next generation, as the president said. I hear people say 2029 coming. It is not about 2029. It is about leading this country as even the mantle of authority. And one of the things I saw when I attended the sauna, you couldn't see people with beret, couldn't see people raising battle cry like it was demonstrated during the previous administration. So some of the things, yeah. So some of the things we have done, it is fair to say that we are not there yet, but we are making significant progress, and we are through with the exemplary leadership that the president continue to exemplify.
Oh God. I'm tired.
All right, Abu, let me bring Abraham Conant on. He got something to say, and then we'll 2 minutes back, then we'll close from there. Go ahead, Abraham.
Yeah, thank you very much, man. And let me say, we are distinguished panelists and contributors on the show. And let me commend you guys' effort, man, for sharpening the contradictions in the country, man. You know, it's important that when people come on this platform, though I wasn't here for the inception of the show, but this talking point, this senseless talking point from the United Party camp that continue to state that the country was decimated. And you ask them, can you pinpoint the areas that are decimated? They can't point it out. For this
I will stop. Do not interrupt the caller, Abu. Don't do that.
Listen, for Abu, no, listen, you can't do this thing better than me. I was doing it long before you even started wearing tie. Understand that. Here's the thing. I can tell you that you have been paid to come and spew of gibberish. We're all substantiating those things. You're talking about a sunnah that was preached. You live in Liberia. As a matter of fact, I just came from Liberia last week. And for your president to stand on the podium and tell the people that rice price has decreased under his watch, that's false. That's complete fallacy and definitely inaccurate. Secondly, today in Liberia, the U.S. rate is at 200 and change. And you standing on the platform and giving this information.
Abu, will you stop interrupting the guest?
I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing. Skin again.
Yeah, not this.
3 minutes to speak on issues.
You need to start there out there for coming on the show.
You inherited a country that was troubled. Can you pinpoint the areas that were troubled?
Interrupting our guest.
You cannot be emphatic about it. Nothing, absolutely. But because you sow a bad goose to the people, you continue to sell that bad goose, despite the fact the goose is completely getting rotting. And yesterday you keep selling to the people. Which part of the country was decimated, Abu? This is an embarrassment for this republic. And as Cyril stated, we are entitled to this republic. For you guys to continuously, the thing is blue and you keep telling people it's red, that's complete injustice you're doing to this republic. You understand? Your president just yesterday, he lied to the nation. He emphatically lied to the nation. Abu, at your house, are you buying less than what it was during the Georgeville time? I invited to tell you no.
Oh yes.
I just got from Liberia last Thursday.
$20. A happy tutorial that people were jumping over fence.
That's the true, But again, let me not take off your time, man. I mean, I would have loved to come on and engage Abu on some of these issues because first and foremost, they need to stop this
Abu, shut up.
on a daily basis. If you conduct an opinion poll, the people are telling you that they are destitute. They are exasperated. They are completely frustrated with the goods that you are selling them. And yesterday you come over here and keep misleading the internet people because you're like talking here. Stop it, man. Come on, Dad. Thank you, man.
All right, brother Abraham.
Listen,
Thank you for the comment.
Abraham at that level, he has his family people in Vatan. I recall vividly, under the then president, and people were jumping over fence. just to buy a bag of rice.
Look at
Is
it.
that an excuse for the rice price going up
Now
high?
you the one supposed to talk for the Myean
I will
family.
look. We gotta go. I will go running out of
Now
time.
you supposed to talk for the Myean family for us to listen to you. You are a liar, Abu. You need to stop.
You a liar.
You are a liar. You
Sister Sarah.
spill lies.
In the West
You're not a representative. You're not a representative of the family.
All right.
Let's.
All right, guys. If you guys want to stay on like that, I will leave it with y'all to stay up.
Representative of his family. You can't come here and lie like that.
Call it.
Yeah, I want to keep it up. That's fine with me. You
No,
know?
I can't stand on the
Well, we had a great show. No, Sis Sarah, we had a great show. I mean, to make this show more interesting, I think we need Abu and the rest here. We need more opposition on this platform. We have to be able to.
You're better. Abu, you got to endure. Abu got to endure.
Yeah, we need more of Abu here to make the show interesting, guys.
I will say what I want yet. I will not say what I want yet.
I hear for the man here to get up.
No, for me, I'm okay with it.
I will not say what I want yet.
Abu, you lie on my left friend Christmas was not alive when Joseph Boakai came to power. So you lie on him, may his soul rest in peace. Christmas has said nothing about Joseph Boakai. No, he never. Yeah, the only person Christmas used to attack was Henry Costa. Okay. Christmas said nothing about Joseph Boakai being old. So that your statement.
I'm looking at
an important meaning.
The blessings,
the thing is, I don't like interrupting people. You can talk all you want, but I don't like you interrupting when people talking. That's the only problem.
The men like to interrupt people because they can be hating on here, he want to hear it. If people can say and listen to your lies, why you can't say and listen to the truth?
That's exactly what happened when you defend it. You know, you got to.
I get Abu credit. Abu support. Abu not run away. I was saying, but Abu stay standing around.
The men gonna defend a paycheck for NBA. Isn't that fun?
I will see one thing. One thing you guys did. Y'all back. President we can speak. President we can do this. President we can do that. You saw how funny. You saw how funny they call your paper today. You saw how funny they call your paper today. They call him big time. When you get one thing to be saying it, and when you get out there on the real stage to do the presentation.
Abu, what on here?
Funny pay call your paper today.
Abu, what people are saying that video in Tanzania.
Who is Mervin? Mervin said it's my number. Who is Mervin? Too many know Mervin?
I know Mervin Carter, yeah.
Where is he?
Why you looking at everybody?
Before you said the number.
Where is he?
Oh, but I said, my man, I was
so tell you the truth, Abu. Let me tell you, you say in your early 30s.
Yeah,
is that what you said?
Minnesota.
No wonder why you be talking like that. You're very inexperienced, actually. You're a little boy. You're a little boy. You're very inexperienced.
No, but Sarah, you can't say that. Myself in my early 30s. So don't say that. Politics is not about age. It's about.
For Abu to be talking the way he can be talking.
But if you say that, then what you would say about me now?
Abu, look at that video and tell us.
Abu
be honest to us and tell us about that video. You tell us was okay?
Abu married a family. Abu a married man family. The man are female.
Yeah.
Okay, but then Sarah's small brother. But look at that video now. Look at that video. Small brother.
Which video?
The video of the president.
Let me say something. Let me say something to everybody on the show.
That man will say the papi answer the question.
I see at the minute why should I may be the younger person on the show.
How old are you?
How old are you, Abu?
You're coming out of youth now. The youth never say right?
Sheriff, listen, Sheriff.
No, Abu, how old are you?
I was saying let's leave it at that.
Abu, how old are you?
In my early 30s.
No, he has to call your age. How old?
No,
The
listen.
man is a
I don't.
youth.
I should not be the.
But then how will you say?
Abu is
No,
a
but
youth.
you can't say I'm older than you. That's a
That
lie.
the youth. That the youth of
Okay,
the
I
country.
want to say something. I want to
That's
address
why
it.
I so we can close.
Okay, so Tomalin,
Yeah.
I find it demeaning for people to comment small brother on the show. Why it's true?
Okay.
Yeah. I find it demeaning when we are on a public platform.
Yeah.
It is fair to it is fair to consider me in your rank. Or the kind of small brother, I think it sounds demeaning to me.
And why you call me big brother? Why you call me big brother?
I'm sorry,
why do you call me big brother?
Don't mind.
We're talking the back. That Peabody.
No, you're not saying on the show yet. That Peabody my big brother. You not saying it. You say
Yeah, so many times you not call other people big brother.
Not saying.
A lot of times.
So how you know I a big brother? Look at me. Huh? How you know I a big brother? Look at me.
That is physical morphology, man.
Yeah, all right, okay, now.
Huh?
The physical morphology. The physical morphology.
Okay.
But how about your own morphology? Hi, Loki.
Yeah, Pierre, no.
Oh, yeah? Okay, good for you.
Okay.
I will ask him.
The person you all youth. You all youth.
Come here, Abu.
Yes, sir.
My man, I swear to you, man.
Why you say Abu?
Always good having you guys. You have a good night. I gotta
They
go.
both know how to laugh for a government, but your life will not prevail on the platform.
Peabody, what time does the show again tomorrow?
Just the stagnant of our country.
We'll be about 4:45 tomorrow.
All right, guys. You have a good night.
Thanks a lot, man.
All right.
But too many give my number to that.
Thank you, everyone.
Everybody a number on the show. Yeah. I will give all the audience your number on the
Thank
show.
you.
I would have celebrated.
I know you.
I have 2,000.
I thought you were in Liberia.
Somebody that you send me.
Oh no, I took that picture in 2019. In 2019, when I went Liberia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful.
It was my birthday, and I keep on the platform yesterday. Nobody. I didn't receive happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Susan.
Oh, you say your birthday. Happy belated birthday.
Happy belated birthday, Mama.
I will sing happy birthday for Susan and raise a song.
Abu, raise a song, huh? Man, you raise a song. Look at voice.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy
birthday,
I was gonna start a song. I will start a song.
Many more years to come, cha cha cha. Many more years to come. Many more years. With a situation we can sing. Abu, y'all don't sing. Y'all don't know how to sing. Bye.
Susan, happy brother, man. Maybe send me friend request, eh?
Thank you.
I sent you birthday greeting though. Happy birthday, Susan.
No, you did. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
You know what? Before Susan go, let's play the birthday song for Susan. Let's play this song one of her favorite mate, Dr. George Nyenwolo. I hope I can find this birthday something that we have made so we can play it before Susan leave. Happy birthday, President Nyenwolo. That's her favorite. George Weah. I mean, Abu, that man can sing like that.
What a birthday song!
I come to put it up. Can President Baga sing too, Abu?
To sing like what? President Baga is 18 and former President Weah. So already the former president voice would be much better than the current president. The current president is in the 80s.
Abu, you watch that video there. That video.
I'm gonna put a song on. Come on.
I didn't see the video.
I'll send it to you. The handles did bad. They should not have done that.
Maybe send me friend request, eh? Are you using Abu as camera on Facebook? Send me friend, I will confirm it.
Thank you, Mom, Mata's son. Thank you for the birthday message. No, but I felt love though
Yeah, you had a lot of
on my
messages.
birthday. Right.
You
Calls,
heard from your favorite
messages. Oh
brother.
my
Yep.
God. Mm-hmm.
Your favorite brother,
You
Kip.
say what, T?
I think
Oh
your
yeah,
favorite.
my favorite brother. Yeah. I mean calls, messages. Oh my God. It was just too much. But thank you guys so much.
Oh, you got a song?
I know the man, I got friends in the CUC, man. They've been being CUC, and I don't issue. They want my number. So. I see your brother this one. I know I see him in the program.
We gonna have a good time. Happy birthday to you. We gonna party. Happy birthday.
The music is fun, dude.
I wish you well. Happy birthday to you. We jamming again. Happy birthday to you. I wish you well. Happy birthday to you, dear. We gonna run, pam, pam, pam. Happy birthday. Yes, I am.
Hey, Orena.
All right, Suzanne. Happy.
You know, that's a start of my president I don't like, but I just have to embrace it. The singing part. I like it.
Okay, guys. All right, guys. You have a good night. You have a good night.
Have a good night.
Hey, Abu, I beg you. Bye-bye. Bye, guys.
Abu, I'll see you, man.
Yeah, thank you, Chief.
Abu, you very sharp. Occasion, what occasion?
No, I want to I can disclose that on the show.
Oh, for you, eh? Okay. Oh, okay.
I mean, it was serious for you in your country as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was your people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. See your president though. International for you. Yeah.
Wow. Damn it. So
it's my dress cool, man.
Yeah, you're looking nice, man. Miss you again. You say you're looking nice? You're looking heavy, man. What? Sharp. Yeah, man. Great Abu S. Kamara. Conrad Kamara.
The season ain't coming for me again. You see, I will call your money in borrowed in a way. I want to come and see.
Come on. Abu,
yeah.
Martin, let me friend. Martin employ you. That boy took a party, ripped the party, the sonar. And with facts too. With facts, with data, with facts. No, and not like he took it from head. With facts. He ripped it. And from what I read from the guy so far, there are a lot of lies. I mean, not misinformation. I was what do you call lies? Maybe lies. I don't use that word, but in the
I didn't say that. I come in and read it though. I come in and read it.
Read it. He took it
I
apart.
will read it back alone.
Yeah.
Read it.
It's not good. So you gotta. I know who did that people the paper, but they gave him so misinformation. And Martin he ripped it apart. It's sad. Well, Abu, let me go. Maybe I know I will have late next show. I know I will check the guys in. Okay.
All right, Chief. Thank you, man.
Okay.
Greetings to your family.
Okay, you too now.
All right.